Welcome everybody to Kicking With The Compas. I didn't ever realize that on that beat pattern, it perfectly comes up when I says it.
Yeah.
It's fucking perfect. Why am I so good at this? Hi everybody, I'm Sammy Gonzalez, aka the Mexcellent.
You just stroke yourself off. You sounded like Dave Chappelle.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Some would call me the GOAT.
Whoa.
I wouldn't,
No.
but somebody would, I'm sure. There's a lot of people out there.
Oh, you do
Get
have a
to
beard
it.
like a Billy Goat.
They would call me they say I look like a goat. Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I misunderstood what they
Alright.
meant by that. Welcome everybody to Kicking With The Compas. No pre-show, because it's all pre-show. I decided remember when we made this show, we were like, we should see a show where we just
All
talk.
gas, no
Or it's
brakes.
just breeze.
Just pre-show. I mean, we were
All
just like,
pre-show.
well, because we did a show from like 3
All
days ago.
marshmallows, Lucky Charms.
They came back, by the
Yeah.
way.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do I find
I don't know,
them?
but my buddy Felix was like, I got him. And I was like, oh, I have the TikTok for you. And I sent him that one
Yeah.
where you said it was a piece of shit.
It's not great, but I want them now. Because I just want to, I'm going to buy those and then I'm going to buy actual Lucky Charms
Oh, so you could just have hyper lucky
and
charms.
dispense them, as necessary.
Right.
So it's going to be the perfect balance of whatever the fuck. Is it wheat? Oat
Yeah,
wheat?
some
Whatever
sort
the
of
fuck.
cornmeal.
It's Cheerios.
It's a cornmeal.
It's Cheerios. So
It's frosted Cheerios.
Frosted
but yeah.
Cheerios.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna have a perfect even bowl of marshmallows to frosted
Right.
Cheerios.
It's going to be like 1 to half was what it is right now with the one part
It's more it's
cereal,
one
one half measure.
2 part cereal, 1 part marshmallow.
That's the same math. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make it simple.
You're upping the ratio, but not overwhelming the
Oh,
balance.
MixSam233 just subscribed.
Yeah.
Welcome,
It's that
MixSam233 for
yes.
subscribing.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Now
you.
we can buy the marshmallows and try them on air.
You don't want that.
I kind of
You
do.
don't want
know
no
what?
part
We
of
had
that.
a-
son.
we had
But
a
the 2 to 1 is appropriate math. You're going
not.
for like
Fuck all that.
You're going for like a 2 to 8.
Going for a 2 to 2.
He's going for 2 to 2.
2 to 2.
So he's just
Yeah.
toning up the rate because he went all the way to 11. Realized that there's too much.
Right.
Way
Right.
too. I was off the wall.
he flew too high
Oh,
to the
man.
sun.
Yeah, imagine if you're like, okay, we'll take that drink. Imagine if you're sipping on some delicious strawberry lemonade, and then halfway through you're like, oh, this is just strawberry,
Right.
and there's nothing, and then you're left to wanting and yearning and
Sour,
realizing, yeah.
slightly sour strawberry.
Oh.
Slightly sour. More sweet.
No, we need. Well, actually, JJ, could you show the people what you're drinking? Because I think it's not on air. We're talking about Truly's, everybody. Truly's, please sponsor us.
I would take a Truly sponsorship.
I would take a Truly's.
His lemonade is delicious.
It's very
I'll
good.
take any booze sponsorship.
Right. I mean, but that said, they're available, so we can have those delicious marshmallows. How do we even get on that? I was gonna set up some other stuff, and then
This
somebody
is
brought it
much
up
better,
immediately.
Actually. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, we were talking about
That's what this show
self-evals.
is.
Yeah.
It's all marshmallows.
That's the whole point of the show. I'm Sammy Gonzalez. Over there joining me across, we have who's very sweepy boy.
TJ, what's up?
Just
I'm
woke
actually,
up.
I actually did.
Yeah, I've been there.
I'd take a power nap, or else I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Right,
That's fine.
Many a time.
Yeah,
I'm
but,
fucking. If you guys can't tell, I'm just exhausted because
Oh, I can tell.
I've only had like maybe a cumulative like 12 hours of sleep over the last 3 days. Just
not-
dicking around. I was playing NBA 2K.
It's the stadium, dude. It's the.
I was playing it.
What did I tell
We'll
you?
get into it. Actually, I'll
Yeah.
upload some photos while this person introduces himself.
Oh, wait.
No,
To
this
my
guy.
Me?
left.
Yes.
I have to think
Me.
about that.
Yes.
Call me McGrew.
Okay, and then over
Top
here,
of the morning to you.
top of the morning. Everyone's
go.
just waking up. Good
Yeah, right.
morning.
Y'all are.
It
This is one
is-
of the first times I've actually just been up.
8:45.
It's rare.
Welcome to the Sleepy Boys podcast.
It's a good name.
No. I'm pretty sure it's taken because it's not wholly original.
It's not wholly. I would just wonder what the fuck it was.
Right. But it'd be TJ. It'd just be TJ yawning. I bet you it's some fetish thing. I bet you.
I
course.
get the feeling that it's like an ASMR podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just help you go to sleep.
Right.
Oh, that's great. And if it's not a thing, you just gave somebody a great
Also,
idea.
in timeout, like I'm actually thinking, like, what if your fetish was someone sleeping? Because that's weird.
Wait, what if it was? What?
Just watching someone sleep.
Or like, yeah, just sleep.
Gotta literally. That's got.
Oh, no, that's a Twitch stream. You know that's a Twitch stream. Some girl leaves her camera
like,
on.
Like, because to me, like, imagine if you have a partner, right, and you're just like, yeah, she's sleeping. Oh, like that's weird.
Okay, we've already talked about weird fetish stuff. The last fake
Did
Compas
we?
episode, the pre-show to the Visions.
I don't
We were talking
remember
about furry stuffs. It was chaotic to say the least.
Yeah, Sam likes cats.
Yeah, apparently I'm a cat person or
Oh, you
whatever.
remember the furry conversation?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
was
the
like-
point is, welcome to the pre-show. This last person here that still hasn't yet to introduce himself is
JJ.
JJ, and he's not a cat person. God damn it! Close your mouth. Or not close your mouth. Cover your mouth.
I usually would, but I'm sorry.
Like,
I was. Dude, I was yawning like 5 times in a row, bro.
I
That
feel like you
fifth
don't know where
time.
you are right now.
I do.
Okay.
It's just
You got coffee, Sam?
No, I don't have a I don't have a fucking microwave.
he doesn't drink
coffee?
coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
I don't either, but I still have a coffee maker.
Well, you're
Wow. Thank you.
That's curious.
That's actually really curious.
Well, no,
What about instant coffee crystals?
no, we're not having instant coffee crystals.
Why
Also,
not?
you don't drink coffee.
You
either?
buy instant coffee crystals, you leave them in the
Occasionally.
cupboard, you
Yeah,
forget
they
about
work,
them,
yeah,
someone
they-
asks for coffee.
The
There's
nitro.
2 different conversations
okay.
going on right now.
What the fuck was that?
Spooky ghosts.
It's spooky season.
It is spooky
It's
season.
the orange shoe over there. It's calling him over.
That was really scary.
It's not really. It's just I have a bunch of dishes that just got water in them.
I don't think that's how that goes.
That's definitely how it goes.
Yeah, bro.
Not
My
when no
dishes
one's
don't make
messing with
random
shit.
noises.
Mine don't
with it.
either.
Well, you don't actually balance them like I do because I have lots of dishes. It's very
I
gross.
moved around your dishes because that was bothering me. So they
I
were
don't
in
like-
Oh, so then you
spots.
moved them and you didn't move them to
No,
a
I
place where they
moved them
settled.
securely,
They did
'cause
not
it-
settle.
Oh,
Your kitchen gives me anxiety.
Why? Because it's messy?
We were in there 20
'Cause
minutes.
or is
it's
it
narrow.
tiny?
It's narrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's very narrow.
It is-
feels
Mine's
like
narrow, but it doesn't
and
feel
I'm-
that claustrophobic.
yeah, and I'm weirded out because I'm like, it feels like it has about the same amount of space as some other like smaller kitchens
Yeah.
I've been in, but
Uh-huh.
it has like not the same amount of space. If that makes it like
Yeah.
I'm like what like
No, you know why? Because it's me and I'm large. And so if you see me in it, it's like,
No,
oh
we're
my
in it
God. And you are a
ourselves.
large guy too. And so it's normal for like a regular person, but for a thick boy, and you're 6 foot, Tommy, you're not small. So
Yeah, I fit in the cupboard.
yeah, JJ's fine. He's like, this is a luxurious kitchen you
Oh,
have.
this is spacious.
I hate my kitchen for the simple fact that it doesn't have counter space like I need it to.
Yeah, I don't.
See,
yeah,
that's-
it really
Yeah.
doesn't.
I'm really anal on that, dude. I
Counter
can't.
space.
Are you been to my spot now? Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's a lot of counter space.
Yeah, it was mostly
Yeah.
mostly counter space. Honestly.
Yeah.
yeah. I was like,
Do you have a
Kitchen-
stove?
I figured out that kitchen's my deal breaker. Like,
Yeah, it
if
is.
the kitchen sucks,
I can't
I'm
do
out.
it.
I learned about it with this one because I had Don's kitchen, which was had a nice stovetop. He had like a top of the line gas stove,
Jesus. Yeah.
and like I want to boil water, and it was fucking boiling water in like 3 minutes. That shit was fantastic.
bet.
Now I got this electric coil bullshit. It's like,
Yeah. Shit ain't even. Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just like shut up, and then I
Welcome
put the
to
water
real
on it.
World, Sam.
Yeah,
No,
cooking with gas, dude, is different. My folks
Yo,
have
it's
a
a
good
completely
gas
different
one,
thing, yeah.
gas stove. Oh,
That's why it's
best.
the fucking phrase "cooking with gas."
Cooking with gas.
It's a whole different ball game.
It's a whole different ballgame. And now that was what I realized now that I'm becoming elderly. Like I always thought.
Now adult shit like
Right.
excites
shit's
you.
effective.
That's what happened.
Well, that was
And not
the
like
thing.
the adult.
Well, first of all, how did you not think you weren't elderly going candle shopping?
This
because
man had figs and like raisins as his top 5 snacks.
that is true.
At what age?
No, this was
Like-
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
Like
new.
last
This
month.
Is new.
No, it's always been the case. So, okay, let's several steps. Let me go back because I want to go back to the premise, which is
Yeah.
being elderly and liking things and growing into things that you like.
I don't want to call it being elderly because that puts a negative connotation about getting older, and I don't.
By
like
definition,
that. Yeah.
that's what it is.
And I'm
Wait.
but no.
I got
getting,
grays.
You're getting more mature as you grow,
Right.
as you're getting older.
You're lying to yourself. You're getting old and rickety, motherfucker.
Me?
You
Oh,
old
yeah.
bitch.
Rickety.
Rickety. We're all getting old and
no,
rickety.
my thing is that I'm just obese and my body's like, okay, you need to not be so fat because it's starting to hurt a little bit. But like if I keep being fat, then my joints are just gonna explode and like
Well, get on the
I know,
tread over
I know,
here.
I gotta get my brain right, which it's getting there. I'm starting to get like, oh shit, I'm gaining weight. I don't like this. But
Pants
beside
don't
the
fit
point.
No more.
Huh?
That's usually what gets me. When pants don't fit no more. All right.
Yeah,
Time to jog because I ain't buying new pants.
Yeah.
Jeans are like $50.
Yeah, pants,
It's an economical thing.
pants getting a little snug. I'm like, they don't need to be this snug. And the shirt, it's a little around the stomach. I got, right? It comes to those realizations. Jesus Christ, are you ashamed?
Bro, I don't
Are
know
you
why
ashamed?
I'm yawning.
I don't know either.
You're
But
tired.
No,
By the way-
I'm body tired, not like sleepy tired.
oh, I have that thing where my eyes get tired and my body's fine.
yes.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
so
see it right
that's what
now.
I'm saying.
Right.
Like I'm at like this and this, but not like consciously. I'm
Right,
fine.
because like I'll
here.
be sleepy like I am right now, and I'll close my eyes. I'm like, oh, sleep is good, and I just knock out, or my eyes just hurt But my body's like, yeah, I'm rested. I've been sitting all day at work.
You guys need to get your body and minds in sync.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, which is hence the bike is there, and hence me having a nice apartment over there now with a nice little cozy area. Look at my Instagram, I'll post it. But
You
to
have
go
a
back to
home.
the point, Senor 2 phones says TJ, if you're anal, you have nothing on Urban Meyer. Do you have any thoughts on Urban Meyer?
I like it.
Huh?
I don't know. He got it. Did you get
I
it?
totally got it. He stuck a finger up the.
Oh,
Wait, he
Oh.
stuck a finger up the girl's butt?
Yes, I was saying.
Yeah,
that.
I thought
he was just grinding up on the
you were
girl.
here.
Unsolicited, right?
Second
That-
video.
that-
No, it was.
There's a second
As far
video.
as we know, it was consensual.
Okay.
Just found out today, that girl works for him. So.
Oh, I say.
Man, yeah, that face says it all.
Boy, I said, boy.
Yeah, so that's what I heard. I don't know.
I did not know
No
there
on
was
the
a
internet confirm if that's the case.
I say,
but-
young
I did not
Urban,
witness the finger.
take
I was-
claim to it. Just like tackle it head on.
I didn't know there was a finger in the booty video. I thought it was just
second
getting
video,
grinded.
different angle.
Oh, different angle.
Yes.
And he's putting his finger in the dress.
Just way up
Yeah.
in there, Morty.
Oh, just
It
Like-
might have been over the.
over
the
the.
clothes.
Might have been over the, but it either or. It
Right.
was one of those.
Because I thought he was just.
She didn't
put-
seem to mind.
I thought he was putting his hand over his crotch to be like, I'm married. Don't take
No,
my virginity.
It was one of these.
It was one. Very enjoyable.
I really wish you wouldn't have put the camera on me right there.
Honestly,
felt
but what,
dirty
if,
doing
yeah,
that.
but what if he was just trying to separate them?
With one finger.
Yeah, with one, like he's
Right,
just that he's been
right.
trained. He's like,
Right.
pushing
Yeah,
this
yeah.
out. Yeah,
With
that's-
one finger.
I'm so powerful
Yeah,
now. I
he's-
don't want to hurt the girl.
yeah. He went from a shushing position. He was like, "Oh, stop talking to me and get away."
move
from me.
It just went a little too far.
No.
Get away. Whoa.
Get away.
Man, this
Just to show you I mean business.
by the way, this and the word diddle, which came to my head, not
Why
a
did
good combination.
that come on?
Because he's diddling
man?
people with
I
his
know,
finger.
but that word.
Finger diddle.
The finger-
Diddle's
yeah,
rough.
Diddle is fine.
Diddle is
like
rough.
diddle.
And I usually associate it with predators.
Yeah,
And it was consensual.
That's my
the whole
fault.
thing.
It's also adultery if it's not his
Well,
wife.
that doesn't make you a diddler. Adultery and diddling. No, don't. No. I'm sorry. No. Hey, look at me. No, you don't do that.
I would say
You don't put
I would
that
say
in the
adultery
same
is the biblical
category.
diddling.
But
But then also the biblical diddling
see,
is like
that's the
priest diddling,
thing.
which is
I
not
don't-
good.
Why did I just defend diddling? I'm like,
Because
diddling-
it's kicking with the compas. Anything goes on this
but
show.
like, no, I don't want to defend diddling. Like, it's just a terrible word, and I feel like it's associated with predators, and I don't want to defend predators.
That's my
So,
fault.
yeah, right.
Because every time it comes up, I say diddle so that I don't have to say
Predator.
That's what I'm saying.
or the other P word.
So what I'm,
Yes.
no, I'm defending adulterers actually.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
But-
That one's fine.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
like,
but
it's
I'm
not.
just,
But I mean,
saying in the pant, like touching kids, that's jail
that's
time.
diddling.
That's diddling.
That's proper
That's
diddling.
bad. That's terrible.
Of course.
Adultery, you're a dick. But
It's against
you're not-
God's commandments.
You ain't going
Yeah,
to
but
jail
I'll
for
confess
it.
it to a priest and
Yeah.
Hey, that's not how
Go. Or
Catholicism works. It's still genuine.
or get a divorce.
Or get
do
a
the
divorce.
honorable thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's Urban Meyer. He doesn't even want to get a divorce
ain't
from his
getting
team he's
divorced.
not even trying to play with.
He doesn't make eye contact anymore.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
doesn't make eye contact. But speaking of playing games, going back to the maturity thing,
Right.
I, for the first time, because I've seen such a slew of all my friends get engaged and married and do real people shit, you know, graduate.
None
get-
of us have.
Well, yeah, my real friend. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. I'm talking about my friends from like back home, like California
Yeah,
friends.
got it.
also
College
I have like 5 secret engagements I haven't told you guys about.
Oh yeah. He does it for the free Denny's. Like if you propose at Denny's, they give you a free meal.
Really?
He's just been doing it just to get the free meal.
Nice.
I'm the
Yeah.
reason that Denny's was cursed.
Yeah.
I
hope you didn't go to
I
that
soiled
one.
the ground. Like,
Yeah,
I've
it
done
was
it
like-
too many
And
times.
schools came out
Yeah.
to serve you food. Okay.
It was like 3 Denny's and a Cheesecake Factory. He got ballsy with that girl. He's like, I
It's
want some
only
free.
one of those, and that's the
You
one
know
by my
what?
house.
that's actually a really smart play because I would what a real smart couple would do would be
Just tore the
yeah
circuit.
just tour the city.
It's a great first
yeah,
date.
Yeah,
isn't it?
literally go to the city, have a ring in your pocket, just let her know like, hey, we're gonna eat it somewhere fancy. I'm gonna propose to you, and someone's gonna pay.
Right, someone. Either they'll comp it or there'll be an elderly couple
That
and be like,
is-
oh, true love is real. Put that on my
That
tab.
is a scene in a 90s indie romance.
I'm sure it's happened in a movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been a premise.
Probably set in Austin.
But the idea is that all my friends are doing that, and I'm like, okay, like I don't mind that I got nerdy shit on the walls, which I remade.
Toys.
Yeah, I got pop figures. They're pretty generally accepted. I've realized.
I got 2. I got
I got under
Vader and a
10.
Black Panther.
I've seen people with walls of them. Okay, so I'm not so bad. Okay.
Shit, I do have 2.
Yeah, everyone's got pop figures.
2's fine.
My
I didn't
But I don't
buy
like
them.
toys.
They arrived to me in
Right.
blind boxes, like just random loot crates.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I got Ken and Ryu, Toys R Us exclusive when Toys R Us went out of business.
Right.
Kool-Aid Man because he means a lot to me. Tapatio Man because Mexican pride.
Right.
And then I got a Thanos in a closet somewhere because I was gifted it from Carlos.
I actually really want the Dragon Ball one, the Shenron.
Oh yeah, because it's a little mini
Give it to
Shenron.
him.
Yeah. What?
Get
No.
oh,
No.
You have one?
He wants a Dragon Ball Z character.
Oh, I
the
thought
the,
you
the
had.
dragon. No,
Like
Thanos.
I don't hate pop figures, but I don't find them like visually appealing.
Right.
The Shenron one, for some reason, does because they just got rid of like the evil dragon eyes. It's still the same dragon,
Uh-huh.
only now he's happy.
Right.
Now he's
It-
not mad
if
at being
the-
summoned.
Black soulless eyes.
Yeah.
And they look cute,
Black
right?
eyes,
like
like
the
a
Tapatio
doll's
guy.
eyes.
Little Tapatio guy. He
Where
has a
did
little
you find
Tapatio
that?
bottle. It came out. They buy the licenses for everything.
Oh,
and they
wow.
just make things. Kool-Aid Man, same thing. He just has
that's a pop
dead
figure?
black eyes. Yeah, the Tapatio guy.
That one you can't. No, the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Man.
if you
can't
go
tell
grab
at
them.
all.
You're right. And then
It's a really bad one.
yeah, and Ken and Ryu are Toys R Us. Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore, so I figured.
I think they said they're bringing it back.
But yeah, it's like a toy section at Target, I think.
Oh, really? That's what they're doing?
Shenron.
That's disappointing.
pop
It's like
figure.
Cinnabon.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
Cinnabons. Oh, cool. That's even better. It's not even black eyes; they're red
Like
eyes. so it's
Cinnabon
super
really got
cute.
the short end of the
Yeah,
stick.
and
'cause
there's
they're carrying
an
Schlotzsky's.
exclusive gold
They
one
really
too.
are.
They are
Awesome.
hard carrying Schlotzsky's.
That's the only reason I go to a Schlotzsky's.
Wait, what's a Schlotzsky's
Schlotzsky's?
again?
Whoa. You
It's
live
where
in
you
Austin.
Get, it's where you get the Cinnabon, literally. That's the only way you can get
The bread,
Cinnabon.
no, the bread on the sandwich is amazing, and that's all they got.
I don't know. But anyway, let's go back to Shenron real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, look
there's
at
a gold
it's just
one.
the Dragon Ball Z guy.
Oh, there's a Jade one now.
That
And there's a,
Fuck.
yeah, I've seen the Jade one. The Jade one's
I mean,
neat.
that one's kind of akin to the Kool-Aid Man as to where
Right,
you
and
can't
then-
tell it's
yeah,
a
well, you
pop
can't
figure.
tell. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
It's
then
like,
there's
Yeah,
the
there you
gold
go.
one.
That's why you like it. Yeah,
right,
it's
and
cool.
that Kool-Aid
I
Man.
like it though. It's really
Yeah, the Kool-Aid Man, just a little Kool-Aid Man, and there's a 12-inch one. I
Okay,
kind of want to
actual-
get it. It's like a 12-inch Kool-Aid Man. It's big as shit.
Okay.
It's like $40. I don't have no right.
So it looks like
purchasing
an actual picture.
it's about actual picture size.
Oh, that's cool. So that's legit.
It's
What
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid Man would look like.
Right.
This
Let me see if I can
oversized
find it.
Kool-Aid Man busting through walls is bullshit.
If I had a live action,
It's terrifying, actually. He's bleeding all over the place. Like it's not good, man.
yeah. Let me see if I can. Oh, there it is. Bam. So that's like 12 inches or like
That's what you
9
have.
inches. No, that's like 9 inches tall.
Oh, that's the bigger one.
That's the bigger one.
That's frightening.
The small one is this. I have the little baby one. I
That
have
shit's
this
gonna
guy.
be like the mask in a horror movie one day.
What, the Kool-Aid Man?
Kool-Aid Man.
Ooh,
That would terrify
Just
the
breaking
fuck
through
out-
walls. Just
Or just like the helmet, the Kool-Aid Man helmet.
I mean,
It's still scary.
costume wise, it's kind of shitty to be honest.
No, it's
you can't
fine.
make a real life Kool-Aid Man look intimidating. Any
You can't-
costume,
Yeah, don't do that.
Like unless you got like a
That's
fuzzy
scary.
suit.
Yeah.
That's the only way. If you had a mascot suit that was like that,
Oh,
That's
I
the
don't-
only way
I
you can
didn't
make
say
the Kool-Aid
suit,
Man look
Just the mask. You got to be able to run and do. You need your dexterity.
oh look,
I
see, there's an
suppose.
actual size Kool-Aid Man. That's kind of neat.
I don't like. any
I'm about
of
as tall as him. That girl looks pretty short, so
I don't like.
to be
this.
fair, I might be as tall as the Kool-Aid Man. There he is in
If
real
I
life.
can't suplex it, I fear it. So
Do
It's a good
fear
way to
me?
gauge
Do
life.
you fear me?
I'm pretty sure if given enough, if you help me, I can suplex it.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, given assistance. Yeah, play fight.
Give him some
absolutely.
PCP. He'll be.
Oh Jesus
He'll
Christ!
be able to
no.
do a
But
lot.
Kool-Aid Man will not help me
He will not help you.
unless
He-
I want Kool-Aid.
He will. So just to go back to the several points again.
Yeah.
People are doing this real life shit, and I'm like, okay, that's cool of them. But more and more of them, like a statistical significance, are now starting to just kind of be that level of maturity. Now they're all silly. They all watch Squid Game. They all like their things. But like my thing that I did was what you showed me, what I stayed up doing last night, which was create a stadium in NBA 2K where you could upload images.
Whoa. Create a team, a stadium as well as uniform.
Right.
Three.
So
You
you
get
can
three.
create 3 uniforms.
Three
You can
unis.
create the advertisements on the side of
Yeah.
the scores table.
Right.
You can put sponsorships on the floor of it. You can customize the
want.
colors, the lines.
Name your stadium and put whatever brand you want to have a stadium.
Right.
You could,
Mine
you
was
have-
Kirkland's signature.
Mine's Verbo.
Yeah, Verbo. Kirkland's signature arena
Mine
in
is-
Fresno, California.
Mine is Verbo Center at the Domain.
Right. And it's
Really
real.
elaborate.
Right, very elaborate.
Fucking elaborate.
Right.
Yeah.
My-
Logos, everything.
Right, and so last night, JJ could see it over my shoulder. I started making like the costumes for them, and so I'm like, these are all Mexcalence Designs,
Mine is still
MexCommerce.com.
better, you know.
It's all right.
No.
So I got like that guy
The
here.
Nike sign is too big.
A little bit. I was in a rush. There we go. And then there's like that one.
I don't
which
like
is
that
the
one.
alternate one. That's simple. I am not in love with it.
No, it's
And
no
then I have the
numbers.
variant one. I like that one a lot.
It's a lot going on there, but I like it.
Yeah, it's the Hispanic Heritage Kobe Mamba Appreciation Night. Look at there's a 24.
You don't have like a Los Mexcalence one?
That doesn't make fucking sense.
I don't know.
That is the equivalent of my Los Mexicans. It's a fucking Sarapid jersey.
You gotta put it on there, like the Lakers and the
Los
Spurs.
Lakers. No, we're not doing that.
Come
I'm not
on.
shilling to the
Come
man.
on. What do you mean?
But point is, I can show it on this silly podcast website that we do because it's entertaining. But I was gonna share it to my story, but I was like,
No.
does anybody fucking
No
care?
one does.
And nobody
I do.
does.
That's about it. Me and you had like a whole fucking hour-long conversation about this.
About
shit.
custom creative characters and shit.
And nobody cares about it but us.
Right. These two don't care about it right now, and we're very passionate
They're
about
like, why
it.
the fuck are they talking about it?
Right.
Yeah.
And that little knockoff version of me that brought me great joy making this uniform, right?
Yeah.
Brought me great joy, and I was like,
That's all
oh, maybe
that
it'll bring
matters.
the other people's joy.
Nobody.
And I stopped, and I was like, huh. Then I thought to myself for the first time in a while, damn, am I immature?
I don't think it's creativity.
It's creativity, but like,
Yeah.
I'm 30. I'm about to be 31, and I'm over
Man.
here showing people my
I
toys.
didn't know you were that old.
Right? Shut up. You're like
What?
43.
No, not yet.
I
Not yet.
hate that categorize. It's the thing with cartoons. Like, dude, whatever.
Well, cartoons are for children. I'm sorry. It was right there. It was right there.
Whatever gets you joy and whatever you ain't hurting nobody. You ain't bringing no negativity to anybody. If anything, it's probably keeping your ass out of trouble. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean,
I don't see anything wrong with it.
it's not like I'm gonna go instead of doing this commit crime. Like I'm not gonna
We
go.
don't know what you're capable
I'm
of. But
just-
like, look,
All
You
right.
just watch a TV show, or you might sleep, or whatever.
What if I stuck up somebody at the 7-Eleven? I could be doing that instead of making cool creative characters.
here's the thing. That's true
That's
too.
very true.
But here's the thing. Think of it like The Sims or like some simulation game to where,
Right.
yeah, do that. Lie to yourself. Like it's a simulation of me being the CEO
Right.
of a NBA team.
Right. But at the
Some
same
shit like that.
But at the same time, I this is my old school. My parents are boomers brain, and then my new school, I'm a millennial brain, which is like my boomer brain, which is like my upbringing is like, dude, you should have 3 kids by now, and some of my friends like have 5 kids
Oh,
by
yeah,
now,
I experienced
and that's
that
weird,
also when I
right?
was 30.
And so I'm in this weird gray area. I
Quick
feel.
question: why do you want any?
What, kids?
Yeah.
That's a little gray area right now for me. Shit's not going too hot.
The world ain't going in the, it's trending downward. If I had to get,
Right.
saying. So,
Right.
yeah.
Like pandemic babies are difficult.
To
My sister's
me,
dealing with that right now.
Yeah, you're bringing a kid into this shit.
Right,
That's
yeah,
irresponsible
I'm a-
of you.
I,
you know,
I would just say for
terrible out
the
here.
world's
these
sake.
streets are hot.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you might want to hold. 2023 is looking like a good year for kids.
Well, I'm saying like
that's what I'm
right
saying,
now,
like
right now, because I did the math. Like, let's say I find a girl tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I just get done. We fall in love immediately. That's still about 2 years, 3 years of being with them / engagement. 4 years, you get married, or on that 4th year going on. Then you got to wait 9 months for a kid. That's still 5 years. I'll be 30,
Still 5 years.
36 by the time I have my
You can
first
have
kid.
kids until you're 50. George Clooney had them at what, like 58?
I know, but I'm not
I
George
don't
Clooney. I got to make sure I'm healthy and like have money to take care of these motherfuckers because shit's expensive.
Well, if you don't have money by that age, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Also, see your 2 phones is like, there's tons of people like wrestling and comics. You do you, Sammy. That's also style pressure. Yeah, but
Yeah,
people
what the
who,
fuck is that
but people
shit?
who like wrestling and comics don't get bitches. I'm kidding. No, but that's what my brain tells me. That's what my brain tells me, TJ. I know I just isolated a statistical percentage of our fan.
Yeah, I was like,
Statistically significant is the word I meant to say.
Also statistically, do you get bitches?
That's the problem. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I'm not getting bitches.
I'm just saying, like,
Don't throw glass
Already
stones.
not
That's
liking-
fair. That was fair. That was a clean play right there. Okay.
I was like, that was clean, so that's why I was like,
That's fine.
Damn, that was real smooth.
You guys can laugh. I'm okay with clean. If I'm out here throwing stones, and I get a stone thrown at me, I can't get mad.
That's it.
But you know what's not good?
It was just snuck in.
it was perfection.
So I was like,
it was a slip jab to the ribs. It was
It
like,
was-
oh, my kidneys.
One of those that puts you to the ground.
Right, but you know what? But you know what though?
But I mean, it was a back. It was a back and back. That was good.
It was a smooth transition.
You were like, oh yeah, this group. And
I'm more mad you keep fucking harping on it than the fact that it actually happened. Because my thing is, no, it wouldn't help me get not bitches or inverse whatever, showing them my
Stop
toys.
saying bitches, but yeah, no.
Then maybe that's
not
my
a
problem.
toy.
Maybe that's my problem. I
Dude,
call
not a-
calling
dude,
them
and
bitches.
also-
Why would you consider that a toy?
That's action figure.
No, action figures are what's on your bookshelf.
Which you do own anyway.
I mean, yeah, but they don't.
Those are, you're not sitting there doing one of these. I don't,
Yeah.
This looks. I don't know. It looks
No, that's how you put it.
Okay.
TJ doesn't know because he never had toys growing up. That's like a real thing.
I did. It's not
Actually,
that
you didn't have action figures.
What
no.
did
Okay,
you
let me
have?
rephrase this. So it's not as though I didn't have toys. You can't go to McDonald's without getting a toy.
Right.
It's just that I don't like them.
Oh yeah, he didn't like action figures. We've discussed this already. You never paid
I
attention to
wasn't
this?
here for that episode.
Oh yeah. So I really don't care for toys much. Doesn't really do anything.
Well, as an adult, natural. I'm talking about.
Never did.
What did you do for fun?
I have like
Imagination,
I have video games.
dog.
I have video games. I'm like, jump.
His
That's
video games didn't have pixels when
What
he
do you
started
mean?
playing them. We had Super Nintendo and
I had
Nintendo.
Super
Yeah, I
Nintendo.
know barely. You never known regular Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Actually,
he's
no.
the
I had
youngest
an
one of all of
yeah.
us.
I had an NES into a Super Nintendo into a PlayStation, with PlayStation being my primary for a while.
Exactly.
How old were you when you got your first console? That's really the question.
Honestly, I've had like
You would have to have been 4.
No, my family has had like off jump. Not even gonna kid you. Like since 2. Like we've been chilling.
So you were doing one of these on
Yeah,
the controller too.
and then,
this
like-
is why he's so smart.
like
I mean, I had those same things. My dad liked video games.
I had original Nintendo.
I had original Nintendo. I had top
Before.
loader Nintendo. I realized I wasn't original.
Whoa. Oh.
The top loader?
Top loader
yeah.
Nintendo. That was a newer model.
That's
I had-
like the slim version of the
That's-
NES.
Yeah, I
So-
noticed. I don't like that, JJ. I don't like that. I had the old school. Put it in, close it.
Close
You had to
it.
Close
Yeah,
it.
My
Have
dad
to
had to
close
fix it like 10 times.
Oh yeah, the mechanism was terrible.
Right. See, I had one of these. I still have one of these.
Oh,
it's in my.
God,
It's
that
in my.
looks hideous.
It's in my room right now. At my
Oh,
old house.
throw that shit out.
Nah, it works. It's still
Oh.
good. It's a 80-year-old
It's
fucking
ugly.
console. No, it's
Put
pretty.
the original up.
Nah,
Let people see the original.
Oh, you mean with the fucking
The
hardwood on
OG.
it?
Not that original.
Nah, the regular. They all had-
Mine. The one people know.
not the Famicom.
Because the controller, I don't like the controller on the fucking that.
Oh, the
you
round one.
have.
I didn't even notice.
It's
yeah.
gross. That right there is beautiful.
Oh, that's the new. There you go. There's the original.
That's beautiful.
I like the controller design. I mean, I don't know,
No, I mean,
the
look,
whole thing is beautiful, Sammy.
I just
but it's so much bigger. Look how much bigger that is
what?
compared to. Look at how neat.
It's aesthetically
tiny that
pleasing.
is.
That shit is not.
I also did trading cards. I love trading cards.
What do you mean?
Like collecting
Baseball,
Pokemons
Yu-Gi-Oh!
and football
Pokemon.
and.
Like I love that.
Yeah, I did
What
those
was it?
for a while.
Magic? Did you do Magic?
No,
I
Well,
did
actually,
that for a while.
I'm not a nerd.
let me rephrase that. No, I did Magic for a while,
What happened?
but I never was leaned into Magic. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, Yu-Gi-Oh was the one that really dominated my play space. But yeah, I was like a Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I was really into Pokemon. Oh my god! Like probably out of any like my Game Boy Color
that's
growing
okay.
up. Yeah, like my Game Boy.
Pokemon's perfectly.
My Game Boy Color
Right.
growing up, like I went through batteries like this, that type of thing. But
Batteries.
yeah, no,
Damn.
my parent. It wasn't that as though like, because my parents were very much okay with supporting like the areas I just naturally gravitated towards, and
Right,
so
right.
they really bombed. They were like, okay, we could buy you these action figures, or you could just be patient, and then we'll spend that money on new games. And I was like, well, I like games.
Patience ain't shit when you're a kid.
Yeah,
Get the
that's
fuck-
why he's
get
wealthy,
patience
or not
the
wealthy,
fuck
but
outta
rather
here.
successful. Like you
Yeah.
said, it was the video games from early age. No, I had video games since I was 2 years old, NES and shit like that, playing Mario, whatever.
I mean, I
it's
can
my
remember
thing.
shit past. I mean, before 4, so
Right.
as long as I can remember.
And lots of reading. I liked books. I really like books.
Fucking loser. God damn.
Here's-
this is
no,
why
I like
he.
to read now,
Yeah,
but as a kid, not so.
Oh,
much.
dude, no, books were dope.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
It
you
wasn't R.L. Stein. I wouldn't
fucking
fucking with it.
imagination and shit.
No. That's my question. You mind if I psychology real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Would you consider yourself a creative person? Like not like shade, because I got something for this.
Right.
Honestly, like, would you consider? Could you bang out a script in a week or some shit like that?
I wouldn't say.
I mean, I can't, but I'm just.
I would say.
I
I
wouldn't
don't know
say
how many
script
could.
writing, but I would say
Oh, some creative outlet.
I do have creative outlet. I mean, I play instruments, so I do have creative outlets.
Well, that's still more of a structured type.
But
of
I do.
creativity.
I definitely like even when I'm approaching. I don't want to say I'm not even leaned into completely calculative either. Like
Okay.
I'm this. in a weird spot.
I'm just the perfect man, ladies.
No, whoa. If I had to lean one way than the other, you're probably
More
more
analytic.
Yeah, you're probably more likely to get a report from me than an actual script. But I like to support those creative endeavors.
Basically, are you the screenwriter or are you the producer, basically?
Oh, producer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
And see,
But-
video game shit like that.
Actually, but English was my highest subject.
That doesn't mean anything.
You
Yeah.
can
like,
fucking speak it. That's fine.
And creative writing is fun.
Okay, you don't see it.
But do you apply it
Yeah,
more?
do you actually, is that like something that you,
Oh, like
is there like this passion?
No,
I
Look,
gotta get this shit out.
TJ, I'm half asleep right now. I am putting on a production of high quality value.
That's what I'm saying. Look,
And with effortlessly, not effortlessly, but like this whole switching thing, the
that's-
timing's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm barely
You put
missing
all
a
this
beat.
shit
I
together.
edit afterwards, and I'm fucking asleep.
And
But
see-
but even at my peak, I can't do fucking science or plan stuff. Like I have that part of my brain that can do that.
I can't do
But
any
I
of
can't do
that.
science. You asked me to do science,
I can't do with TJ. Me and TJ, when it comes to that, are the exact opposite.
right?
I'm the screenwriter. I'm like, look, I can't sell this shit, but here you go, TJ, make money off of this.
I guess I'm good.
That's that.
Right,
That's what
right.
it is. Yeah.
I don't know, because I know what
Yeah.
I know what type of person I am,
Right.
and it's just really hard to articulate because
see, here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
necessarily. Because I
You
don't
have fun doing that shit.
like looking at numbers. Yeah, I mean, I like seeing
Making money, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, money will always make me happy.
That's what I'm
Right.
And see, like, it doesn't me. Like, I'd much rather the peaceful live on a beach, no one bother me.
Yeah,
over
how
money.
would you get to that unless
Well,
you have
no.
money? Yeah, so
I
that's what
got
I'm saying.
that.
Commandeer the land,
But
kill
I'm
the
a-
natives.
But no, I'm the type. Look, if I get a hold of
Our
like,
melanin ratio is a little too low for us to qualify.
yeah, we don't do
for
shit
that.
like that.
You guys don't colonialize.
No.
I'm
It's not us.
6'4"
We don't-
because of
We
it.
don't steal countries and people. Look,
Countries, people, culture, stamp on land.
And spices.
yeah, but look, I'll be the type.
No, they didn't steal that. Salt's the spiciest thing they got.
Yeah.
No, what do you think India was for? They stole India's spices to sell them to other people who like spices.
Bro, I really want to see. I wish I could go back in time and see the first nigga's face in India, like, whoa!
Laser. Yeah.
Feels like a 90s commercial.
That's a great
Like
comedy
those old
premise.
popsicle commercials where
Yeah.
like the kid licks the popsicle and all of a sudden it's color.
Yeah, bro.
No. It's like the Gushers where they make the brains like lemon and shit.
Oh, yeah.
They CGI. No, but you know what that would be? Someone said if someone went back in time with a bag of Cheetos to like Pilgrim times,
Flamin' Hots?
just a regular Cheeto.
Oh, okay.
He goes, it'd be the most dangerously cheesy that person has ever had ever in their existence.
Yeah.
Think about how cheesy a Cheeto is. And give that to a Pilgrim.
It's done scientifically.
Right, and
so
she's
it
like,
tastes
here,
extra
Pilgrim. And he's
cheesy.
like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else you do but scream.
just strip naked and just run through the village.
It's dangerous.
Start going sorcery.
Right. Oh, yeah. The amount of fucking chemicals in a Cheeto alone,
Yeah,
how much chemicals
it's
it would
terrible.
have that he would never be able to get. How much. Like, imagine that same
Screw
Pilgrim.
over that man's life because for the rest of his days he'd be like, nothing tastes the same.
Right.
I'll
So
do
he's a
one better.
pilgrim, right? So
Yeah.
he left because of religious persecution. He believed so strongly in God that he left his country, endured plague, endured the hardships of sea. You give him a Cheeto and he's like, there is no God.
There is no God.
I can't have this shit no more.
That's when he slowly walks into the ocean. And
No, and then you start thinking about it. The neon color of the orange didn't have coloration like that in
nothing
Pilgrim's
had
time.
color. That color didn't exist.
Right. So imagine me holding essentially in their
The
brain,
manufactured color.
a golden stick, because that's the closest color they could probably comprehend is gold.
It's not even gold. It's
But
like
to
a
them,
bronzish-
it's glowing
Yeah.
neon, and it's orangish kind. It's closest
I
thing
feel
you
like
could
they'd
equate
be
it to.
scared
is
to
that.
eat it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you hold it up to them on high, and they think it is a holy relic, and they eat it, and it's dangerously cheesy. The other thing I
We
just had this
underestimate
invention
the
about.
intelligence of people back then.
One of them might literally turn into Chester Cheetah.
Right. Like in the
That would be
90s commercials.
Then you
Nah,
freak the
dude.
fuck out. That's when you freak out.
But
yeah.
then I thought, right now, what
Right.
if you gave a pilgrim just one Monster Energy drink?
Oh.
Between carbonation, the amount of
they probably
caffeine,
die.
I wonder.
A heart attack would be imminent.
Well,
Because the human body's pretty
No,
resilient,
so
right?
What would happen is, so check it. What would happen is he'd drink the Monster Energy.
It would burn like a mother.
Like,
Because
he'd
carbonation.
be very
they
confused.
still had carbonation back then.
Then-
It wasn't like super strong, like
Yeah.
there'd still be more carbonation in a modern
you
drink.
would, you would get carbonation via fermentation plenty of times.
Yeah,
fermentation, natural springs and stuff like that. So you'd have fizzy lifting drinks back then, but not like
That-
Red Bull.
Not this like
Yeah.
we have the power to manually inject carbon into
right,
our
and then be like,
beverage.
right?
Like you have people who are like, I'm gonna take this milk and carbonate it. Like, yes, you can't have that. But what I would think is what would first happen is they'd ingest the monster. Then 24 hours later, they'd wake up, realize like the damage they had done.
They'd be a werewolf. They would become an actual monster.
Just because you're thinking about it on like a fizz and caffeine perspective, but also just the amount of sugar.
That's
like
what I'm
their
saying.
bodies were not ready for that impact.
Right.
Yeah,
now, and then
you're
also
both wrong.
like
But then it'd also be like, they'd go and they'd paint tails. They'd be like, I have this elixir that led me to
No.
the work of 5,000.
and it comes from a mystical metal sphere that is both heavy and light to the touch.
There was a note that said, name all your children's children and their children's children, Kyle.
And that's what I'm
the
saying.
origin of
of
No.
Kyle Monster Energy
No,
drink.
that's not how that would go at all.
Fine. How would it
This
go?
is Pilgrim
You
time.
touched on something that actual science has researched, where for a while, like during the Dark Ages, people were just drinking fermented beverages,
Right, because it's clean.
Because like the alcohol kills off anything that will kill you.
right.
When people started drinking coffee and tea, in order to make it, they had to boil water, and it was also slightly caffeinated. And then the Renaissance happened.
See, when you're not drunk all the time, what happened? Bro, they were like,
God.
if you really think about all these niggas drink was wine all the time, so like no one could get work done.
And now not only do we have clean water, this shit keeps you up and makes you want to do stuff.
That makes you actually want to.
Truly's right there. You should bring that Truly's over. This Truly's is truly, no pun intended, the nectar of the gods.
No, literally.
It has clean alcohol. It has fizzation. It has fruit scents and flavors like wine.
Yeah.
This is what the Pilgrims and the Romans and all prehistoric peoples ever dreamed of. And it's in my hand right now. As Truly's strawberry lemonade hard seltzer.
Pretty sure they just dreamed of a life where they don't have to worry about if they're gonna live the next day. but also
imagine
that's
having
number
that
two.
too,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, yeah. What is it?
That's a very close second.
Very close second.
I just
my
really
blood was
want
wine.
a
My
wine
blood was
that
Truly's.
doesn't
yeah. My sweat was truly.
like those old Gatorade commercials.
Oh, bro, that.
Oh shit.
Don't get me started on that. Quick aside. Look, so the Gatorade commercials, when niggas were like sweating rainbows,
Oh, I remember.
bro,
that.
that's the most like, I was like, I want to sweat rainbows.
That
That was the
That's
worst.
the quintessential
Bro, that
90s
was-
Gatorade commercial.
Because it was so refreshing. It'd be like, you
Like they were
drink
wiping the
Yeah.
Gatorade from their brow.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, bro, look.
It's kind of cool though. Like it's cool imagery.
Bro, you'd be like, yeah, like, imagine drinking like, I drink orange Gatorade today, so I'm sweating orange.
The government
Look at
would
it, look
lock you up somewhere. It's,
Look, see, it's
You would
just
go
right
through
from-
T-shirts.
oh god. Don't wear white. All black T-shirts all the time.
That's the underside of that of
Right.
sweating Gatorade. It's just all the dye on your skin. But I'm just saying, Pilgrims don't have it as good as we do.
Yeah.
Fact.
Fact. that now I want to find the Amish or like one of those tribes that have not been contacted by man
And just give them Cheetos.
and just give them a bag of Cheetos. See what happens.
I don't think you forgot to state your point. What would
I
actually
completely
happen?
forgot what it was.
It's all right. It's fine, guys.
It's
There's
all
no
right.
rules to this fucking podcast. We were talking about all
Yeah.
sorts of nonsense. But the point is, one,
There is no point. Yeah, I was like,
there's no
the point
point.
is, there's no point.
No, I got the point. One, stop using the word bitches. Two, I don't know the second part.
Drink
is.
Gatorade.
Drink
'cause
Gatorade.
You'll sweat neon.
I don't know if y'all guys have had.
Neon? Sorry, not just sweat color, sweat
Sweating
neon.
actual neon.
Yeah, you know for a fact, if that were the case, they'd be like, "All right, Taylor, we're going to the club." But like, "Oh shit, which color?
Yeah.
Can I do?
Is it a black
whiter?
light?
Yeah,
Is it a
I'm
black
doing
light or no?
frost.
Yeah,
I'm doing frost, guys.
yeah,
Right.
It's always
yeah.
frost.
Frost
Yeah.
is the flow. Deny.
Glacier ice.
Glacial freeze is what it is.
Glacier freeze. There
Glacial
you
freeze.
go.
Going to an EDM thing, you're drinking 7.
Because that's a whole other conversation. People, I once read in in a meme.
Yeah.
You know, the highest form of artwork and literature,
Right,
memes.
right.
And the guy was like, if you know the colors of blue in Gatorade, you're a cop. And I said, nay, you need to know the differences in the blues of Gatorade. Do you agree?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gatorade comes
two
red,
different flavors.
red,
Yeah.
yellow, orange,
Right.
and then blue.
2 blues.
But there's like three
Three.
blues.
Is it 3?
Yes, because there's that weird one that nobody talks about. It's kind of purplish. It comes in the pack. So there's Cool Blue,
Which is the best one?
which what the fuck does that taste
Cool
like?
Blue is good.
Like I get what punch tastes like. I get what lemon lime tastes
I
like.
assume it's supposed to
Orange.
be blue raspberry. I'm
No,
with that.
No, it's
I
called
think-
Cool Blue. Call
Well,
it
I
blue
know.
raspberry.
No, because that doesn't cool me down.
I think it's cherry.
No, because they have
No, it's
white
not
cherry.
'cause I hate cherry, and yeah, they do have.
They have white cherry. Just like they have a white creamy
White
looking
cherry.
one.
White cherry is the Powerade.
No, white cherry Gatorade too. Let me look at cherry Gatorade.
They might have a white one. I think they have a white.
Yep, it's white there too.
Yeah.
Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. So then you got Glacial Freeze.
Yep.
That's the
That
light
was actually
blue.
my favorite.
That one I go with. I like.
Blue
the
and
No,
Glacial
because that
Freeze.
one doesn't taste like anything.
Actually-
It doesn't taste like a fruit. It freaks me out.
Yeah, I
Why
like.
does it have to taste like a fruit?
I
It's
like
supposed to taste like ice. Technically, Glacial Freeze is like this is water flavored.
No.
It
So-
should.
No.
Put it in your freezer.
I
There
think
you
it's
go.
supposed to take like that water that Bobby Boucher had around his neck for like 20 years.
It's still cold. And then the other one was.
It's just very confusing because like at all the flavors they have a direction, like a hint of fruit essence.
Right.
Like you know which way. Like
No one
glacier.
questions
and then
what
there's
the
and then
fuck
there's
is.
Riptide Rush, which is purple.
Yeah, that's
but
purple.
that's the
not
same.
blue.
That's the same frost.
The low calorie
variant.
purple one tastes like Kool-Aid.
Yes,
Like grape Kool-Aid.
Yes.
And then there is actually another one that's teal. That's actually more akin to green. That sucks.
What?
Oh, yeah. I know which one.
Is that a limited edition?
No, it's just newer.
So here's Glacial Freeze.
Right.
Or not Cool Blue. I'm sorry.
Blue.
That's
Yeah.
cool blue.
Glacial
That's Glacial
Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a mysterious third one. And then there's like the diet ones.
No,
trying-
that one's
That's
don't
Cool
count.
Blue.
Get that out of
Cool
here.
blue's fuego.
The sugar-free. No, we don't want sugar-free Gatorade.
Sugar-free ones are not bad.
Get that shit gone.
They're little like the G2s, the little clear ones. These ones here, those suckers are good.
So you see that teal one in the corner down there?
that one?
Oh,
Oh, that one does
oh.
suck.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that one does suck.
What
What the
is
fuck
that?
are you? Teal Gatorade. Yeah, that one's
Oh,
bullshit.
I don't want to drink.
That's a part of the Frost series. You're right. Arctic Blitz.
Oh,
Arctic
yeah.
Blitz can fuck right off.
I don't want that.
Nobody wants.
I tried that a long time.
Oh,
ago.
he was in the chat. He had it right. Arctic Blast. No, Arctic Blitz.
No,
and it's
I'm
bullshit.
good.
I do
man.
like that name though.
It's a cool
It's
fucking
like a
name.
Pokemon attack, baby.
How did we just let this slide? for so
Lapras
long?
use Arctic Blitz.
Yeah, that's what I feel like, dude.
Dun, dun.
How did we let this go for so long?
What the having Arctic Blitz?
Yeah,
they
we
don't
went-
carry them in fucking
Listen,
7-Elevens.
We went from
They do now.
orange to lemon lime, fruit punch, sure, to Arctic Blitz, glacier ice.
Yeah, the
These
frost.
aren't things. What the fuck? Like, what is this? What's going on?
Okay.
They taste good.
Yeah, because
I need
these are
fruit.
the. I like the clear G2 lemon
Traditional,
lime.
classics.
The lemon lime though, the sugarless
Lemon
one.
lime is the go-to.
But that one's like green. I love.
That's not green.
No, that one right there. No, that one's no. The yellow is closer to that. That one is.
That's the lemon lime.
To me, your maturity level matches to when you awaken understanding lemon lime's the most neutral and best flavor.
The
to
yellow
have
one?
At any one time.
Yeah, lemon lime.
Yeah.
That was my go-to.
It's always
Like
everybody's
literally,
go-to.
like I promise you, if you're on a hot day, like there, because I used to like orange, and then I was like, wait, it tastes.
Is this 1984?
It just tastes off now. I don't know why.
Weird. Yeah.
It's a little weird. I won't
Well, you know
reject
what
it.
happened? I think.
Although
High
now
C
that they
orange.
added the cucumber one.
Oh my god! Now JJ's looking over my shoulder. He's getting to my point.
Oh yeah, it is a cucumber.
The scary ones, because then you got green. Now let me tell you my favorite thing in the world. One of my many favorite things. If you guys remember anything about me, know this: I love neon green drinks. Apple teenies look cool as shit to me.
Then drink
But
them.
no, but
We won't judge
that's not
you.
the
Sour
point.
melon Powerade's fire.
But that's the thing. I don't like sour things, so usually neon green things are sour. But Kool-Aid, the lemon lime Kool-Aid, because not the lemonade, but the lemon lime was green. And I used to mix up Kool-Aid all the time in summers when I was growing up. And it was like this cool, vibrant, translucent green. And
not
I
good
used
for
to
you at
think that if I drank it, I'd become a Ninja Turtle. Like that was in my head canon. And I always got like Ninja Turtle powers every time I drank it because it looked like the ooze,
ooze,
right?
yeah.
So then that created
Oh man, what the fuck?
my love of green Gatorades
Did
until
you try that?
that one's it's green apple. It's fine, whatever.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
other ones, right? There's other green ones that
Green
are good.
apple's fine, yeah.
The lemon lime green clear G2 is the best one ever. I've yet to find
Not
it,
trying any G2.
but he got it right. The worst part and the worst ones is when you're not expecting the flavor that you're getting, and that happens when they introduce the Mexican flavors.
yeah.
Cucumber
Into-
lime was delicious.
No, so cucumber lime.
It's good when you are expecting
Are you
that one.
expecting it? So let me go over Mexican Gatorade.
It's a lot to handle on your fridge because it's authentically it's cucumber.
It's
forward. It's
Yeah.
like
Straight up cucumber.
I'm here.
So Tommy, I showed you those green Gatorades, right?
Right.
Okay, now imagine you're working in the backyard with your dad. You're fucking setting rocks down, right?
Yeah.
Setting rocks and building planters, and you're hammering in the fucking sun.
wouldn't do any of that.
And well, no.
Okay.
Like that's not what I would do.
Yeah, right.
that's not
Especially not with my dad.
Yes,
No,
especially.
but you're doing it, and you're working
Okay.
hard, and you're sweating, and you got dirt on your face, and
Dirt and
this
Gatorade.
and this is one of those things where, right, it's one of those times where like. In my family, we're pretty progressive, and we'll get into like women's rights and stuff like that a little bit later. But we're pretty progressive, you know. But there's certain things and certain times when I was growing up where it was like, all right, you're a boy, you're a man, you're gonna do the hard labor. You're gonna go out and you're gonna hammer shit, and you're gonna mow the lawn, you're gonna pull weeds and shit like that. And then the girls, mostly my sister and my mom, they would be cooking lunch, which was like fucking nice because like. My mom cooked dinner
real
all the
old
time,
school.
but it was real old school. Like
Yeah.
even my sister, she's a modern woman. She's not gonna. No, her man doesn't tell her like, "Oh, make me dinner," and they know like she's not that woman. But she'd be getting like
no one
food-
does that. But yeah.
No, but Mexican men, they're kind of that way sometimes.
That's
Like
right.
old school.
Okay. I
But
got
she's
you.
not like I need to be the perfect wife and have the home. She's not that person.
I wish my dad like did that shit to my mom. I saw how
I
high I
would
would have.
not.
Oh, you're right.
Well,
Yeah, like she would probably would have like the world ended.
Right.
I was like,
my
So
mom would have thrown hot grease in my father's face.
But paint that picture. So you're
Right.
working hard. They're in there being domestic and shit. And then they're like, when the boys come in, we'll have Gatorades ready that are cold, and we're gonna have food ready, whatever they made.
Right.
Fucking tight. And so like, oh man, I can't wait for my green Gatorade. Oh man, it's so delicious. Oh fuck, it's fucking lemon, cucumber,
beautiful,
limon,
though.
pepino.
It is beautiful. It's a beautiful
It's
color.
a beautiful color, but it's a muted green versus, or even in real life, it's still pretty green. But
with
but,
Funyuns in that picture.
and with Funyuns in that picture.
That's a hell of a combo.
And it's good,
Yeah.
because you've ever had cucumber water and
I
like
love
that,
cucumber
similar
water.
like that. It's refreshing, like you said.
It's super. Yeah, that's the thing about cucumber water. If you've never had it, it's
right,
super duper.
But if you want green apple or whatever other sugary sweet flavor, that shit'll fuck you up. That'll fuck up your whole life because you're just like, ah! And
don't
you've already
want
drank it,
that.
and you have to drink it because you opened it.
I don't have to drink shit.
No.
I'll admit
our
it got me
house.
the first time, like when I took that first sip.
Uh-huh.
But then I remembered, oh wait, there's tajin like over there. in
Right,
the cupboard.
right.
So I just rimmed the glass.
No, and it works.
Yeah.
And then they got mango extremo. Like then they have
What flavor
It's
was it?
mango.
Mango.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
no, I so whenever they started to add these flavors, so I was like, actually, like because to me, in terms of complexities, like
Yeah.
you don't think about that when you come to Gatorade. You're just there. Cucumber lime was the first time I saw it. I was like, hey, this got a lot going on.
it was complex,
Hey, I was
to
like-
say the least.
I was like, it's
complex.
complex.
Gatorade,
flavor.
that's high praise.
Right. And so,
It doesn't just like it was the
Because
first
they
time.
all, most of them just taste the same.
yeah, at the end of
The
the
hint
day,
of something different. Yeah.
grape tastes the most grape. The red tastes like a lot of them in the middle. The blues taste similar. Lemon lime is sweeter, but lemon lime orange are the fucking same practically. Same
they're
family.
not.
Same sensor family in the mouth.
They use some of the same
Mouthfeel.
ingredients.
So check. Blues, I'll give you. They probably taste the most similar.
Yeah.
Right.
With cool blue being the standout
The
number
sharpest,
one.
yeah.
Yes.
And then you get to me, I know you put red in the middle. Red's the one that I'm like, red just tastes different. Red tastes like
Like a whole different beverage.
red.
Yeah.
Red has like this
fucking
like I don't describe it's
black
this-
sheep of the
it's
Gatorade
this
thing.
weird like bad after. It's good. It's just this weird. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
bitter. I don't know how to describe it, but their fruit punch is different.
Yeah.
and I like it because I used to hate it, and then now I'm like, oh, I appreciate it. And then I actually think that lemon lime, as it's it's god tier. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I do get what you're going with the citrus undertones. They use very similar nature. But I think the greens were where I started to be like, oh, okay. So these are the ones to me where none of them taste same. Like, where,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you have like, okay, fine, you can put lemon lime in the green family because it's kind of greenish. Even though if anybody called it green Gatorade, I'd slap the taste out their
What
mouth
the
because
fuck
it's
is wrong with
yellow.
you? Yeah.
The flavor is yellow. But they're like, oh, can I have green Gatorade? I'm like, it's yellow. You know
I
how it is.
found it.
What?
I found my holy grail. So this is gonna be a weird Gatorade story. I'm surprised I have this, but it's my favorite story. One of my favorite stories.
I have my favorite flavor. They don't have anymore.
So the reason why I'm a businessman and like why I wanted to do all this because I had a class where it was a business class in high school my senior year. It was taught by my photo teacher. It had photography, lunch, and then this business class. It was
Right.
great. So it taught me the outs and ins, and they gave us like $50 to flip. Like on snacks and stuff to like you can make gift baskets and you make your own profit, and that was part of the business class.
Right.
So my thing is like I just sell Gatorade because I'm lazy and I want to get the A because I'll be able to flip them pretty easily. So I bought like 3 Costco packs of Gatorade Rain. Do you remember
I
Gatorade
remember that.
Rain?
I remember rain. I hated it.
Oh, you
I
hated
never
it.
tried it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the green. This one right here.
To me, it tasted like watered down Gatorade.
It tastes like it tasted to me like Gatorade with more of like hydrating quality. Like it was easier to drink. It wasn't as much sugar, I don't think.
Watered down
No.
Gatorade.
But it was still delicious to me.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to it. Actually, I really am hard pressed to think of a time where, like, after you're working out and you look over there, it don't matter what the color is. You're like, hey,
Actually,
thank God.
whoa,
Right.
was green apple somewhere in one of these?
Yeah, green apples.
Yeah, I think
Was it a rain flavor?
This one was a rain flavor.
That's how I know it. I used to love that. Yeah, I remember that. I used
Yeah,
to love
see,
Because
that.
green, so green, so
I take that back. Yeah.
green apple was a rain flavor, and then they made it into a regular flavor.
Oh, I didn't know
So-
they
so-
got
so-
bumped up. I
yeah,
didn't know it got
so
promoted.
it has a regular flavor.
I'm
It's,
getting
it's
that
pretty
tomorrow.
normal.
Right. So now it's
didn't
this
know
one.
that.
Or honestly,
Does it
7-Eleven
still
has
taste
it
the
too.
same?
I haven't had it. I don't like green apple.
They just rebranded. This is Rain Lime. It was lime. So they rebottled it. So they got
This
rid of
looks like
Gatorade
every other
Rain.
Gatorade
No,
now.
but it's clearer.
Well, but I'm bottle wise, like
No, they changed the bottle
I don't
so
like-
they kept the
let
recipe.
that shit stand out.
You want that cool swirly bottle that you saw
Yeah.
earlier? Yeah, these are because the rain ones were the clear ones. That's what
They
it is.
re-
Okay,
They're
I remember
all
this.
still
So
around.
now you triggered me.
Nah, see, because that's the
Purple
rain
one
logo.
was the one I liked. I remember berry.
Rainberry.
Rainberry.
Okay, so
I
they
remember
just
that one.
reconverted them to these
To
regular
the regular
bottles.
bottles, yeah. Ain't that some shit? They've been here the entire time.
Just hiding in plain
I thought
sight.
they got discontinued.
I don't know, man. I thought they were just the G2s.
Or limited edition.
But I used to drink the fuck out of
That
these
green
big
apple
ones.
was my shit.
No, like the big
I didn't
liter
go
ones.
that far.
Oh, the liter ones?
I wouldn't
Because it was
allow.
like water.
Now,
It
you-
wasn't. It was very flavorful.
Why am
thought
I
the green
obese,
apple was
Tommy?
very
Because I was
flavorful.
drinking those by the mouthful in
That's
high
not
school.
great.
It's not. I don't do it
Were you,
anymore.
were you dehydrated?
Probably because I wasn't drinking water.
You drinking,
I
was drinking salt water.
But it's got what plants crave.
It's got what
Actually, no,
plants
no, no,
crave.
no, no. Because that type. I was gonna say you're the type of kid who could like have the Gatorade powder and then follow it up with the water.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
fucking disgusting.
But I'm like, yo,
Whoa,
you have to
no.
have hair on your chest for that
No,
one.
you know what? Gatorade powder.
Dry scooping fucking Gatorade is not a good idea.
Gatorade powder
dry scoop.
as a whole can fuck right off.
Let me tell you something. The kids that dry scooped Gatorade were the ones with the dried snot on their nose.
Yeah, bro.
I gotta get my hydration. I'm like, nigga, you're just drinking water. Just drink water then. I said, or drink the Gatorade premix.
Just shake it. You're not proving anything by drinking dry powdered Gatorade.
TJ knew that kid.
They played football
They
with
do
us.
that.
They played
Oh,
football with
no.
us, and they were trying to prove a point.
No, okay. So my whole thing is, I used to dislike powdered Gatorade, but I was just like, it really only works with lemon lime.
Right. Yeah, that's the only one where the sugar ratio to the powder
I don't
makes
like powdered
sense.
drinks at all.
Ugh, I miss you, Gatorade
Go
Rain.
get some. It's there.
I gotta make sure it's,
It's out
there.
here.
It's out there somewhere. Because my thing was like, I had a whole Gatorade, and the thing is, I didn't even fucking sell the fucking Gatorades. I just drank them. I drank half my product.
Were you supposed to be selling?
I was supposed to be selling them. I sold like half of them, drank half of them. I broke even, and I got a free case of Gatorade.
That was your payment?
No, they
reward?
gave me money to make a profit.
Okay.
I just said I'm gonna break even, pay for half the Gator. I made $10. Let's put it that way.
Jesus.
My whole
You
thing,
had a
right?
problem.
So
A
Perhaps.
Gatorade.
you had
problem.
rain.
That's why I don't have snacks in the house, Tommy. I drink them, eat them all. That's the reason why I don't have snacks. I'm a snacker to the fucking death.
You had Gatorade rain. I had Ice Punch. I love it. Used to come in. Didn't have the actual full size bottles ever. It was part of the smaller bottle collection. It's
Oh
clear.
shit! I've only had this like
I remember
once,
those.
maybe.
That one's awesome.
It's clear.
completely clear.
That freaks me out. I
It's
don't
just like
that.
Gatorade
It's-
water.
I don't like clear things that have flavor.
Ice Punch.
That's reserved
That's a
for
cool
water.
ass fucking name.
Bro, it's dope.
That's a Pokemon
That's a
move.
great-
That
that's
is
a
an
great
actual
name.
Pokemon.
That is, there you go. Ice Punch.
No, dude, like, because the thing with it, right, was
What is this one? That one looks like fucking
so
sweet
imagine,
tea.
imagine, you know, there's times where straight up, like, after, like, I don't care what type of athlete you are, you have times where you're not just trying to douse yourself in water, right? You're
Right.
like, okay, cool. I kind of like, you're like, that's why
Right.
Gatorade exists, right? You're like,
Right.
I want some cool with a little bit of flavor. But Ice Punch, bro, like, anytime you be like, man, it's the most crisp one. Like it shit, like because it's part of the Frost series, so you know it hits right whenever it's cool.
Frost series. We're all into like the subgenres of like the titling of
Yeah.
Gatorades.
So you
I
wanna
like
know
the
what it
rain
is?
series.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the rain
So you want
Gatorades.
to know what it is that freaks me out about clear liquids with flavor? Do y'all remember like when you got sick and you just like Robitussin, which is gross, but
Yeah.
you expect the flavor.
Yeah.
Did your mom ever give you that clear shit? The clear cough syrup.
That's some
I did.
1970s
It will
shit. Tommy.
traumatize you. It will. Like you don't. I didn't want to drink water for the longest, JJ. Like the shit fucks you
Oh
up.
shit, Tommy.
Because you're not expecting it.
Because
Tommy.
it's like blood and melted pennies color.
But
So
yeah, it's gross.
Tommy, real
You brace
quick, I
for it.
googled clear cough syrup, and the first thing that came up: side effects. Oh no,
But you don't see it anymore.
you might have asbestos in your blood.
It was a very 90s thing that I don't see around anymore, but it was the worst tasting.
Ugh, dye-free wall tussin.
Hands, that's the stuff. Hands the fuck down is the grossest fucking cough syrup you can ever have.
I think it's Tussin without any flavor.
Tussin right there.
I think
well,
it is. It's
well
like
that's the
raw
thing.
Tussin,
You're talking
yeah.
about Robitussin because now they've
Well,
branded
Tussin is the name
well,
of it,
they've rocked,
generically, yeah.
the generic is Tussin now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris Rock. But I had Robitussin as an adult after having
I have to, yeah.
having drinking shots. Robitussin is legitimately fucking disgusting.
Whoa, after shots.
Like after taking shots, like after when you take shots as a college kid or a high school
you're
kid.
supposed to drink Robitussin?
No, the flavor of Robitussin is not supposed to be as severe as you were when you were a kid. Because when you're a kid, you never had any taste of alcohol or
I
anything
got
like
you.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you go to college or high school, whatever, and you're drinking actual
So what
liquor
were your
shots.
thoughts as an adult?
It's fucking gross. Like as a
It's
kid,
still the same.
Yeah, it's still the same.
It's still the
like,
fucking
Because
same.
like I had like NyQuil. Like
Right.
I had gotten to college
Yeah.
my first quarter, and then came back for the holidays, and I'm not feeling well. My mom goes, "Have some cough syrup." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah, they love to dish that shit out.
Right.
Don't they? Yeah.
And then you go cough syrup. Okay, NyQuil.
Ew.
It was supposed to be nasty. I remember it being nasty, but it's like, oh,
Well, NyQuil tastes like licorice, though, right?
like the old recipe does. Like the new
The
ones are
green
just
one,
whatever.
yeah. The green one tastes like
Do
liquor.
they still have that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't know
it
why
still
anybody would
exists.
pick it because they're weirdos. But
Yeah, okay.
Red's right there, and it
Red's-
tastes like cherry.
yeah,
I don't like cherry.
I like the
I don't
purple.
like
I like,
cherry. I'd
I like
rather do
grape.
licorice.
I'm a grape guy across the
I didn't
board.
know they had grape. I
But-
haven't needed it in a while.
Purple, but
Okay.
you drink it and you go, oh, a shot of Everclear is worse than this. Okay, whatever. But then like another time after that, she had just Robitussin.
Straight
I go,
up
let me just try Robitussin. It's probably there from like
No, it tastes like
1997.
hell.
Super consistent.
Like 1997 Robitussin.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit. Oh,
You always get that face. And then don't fuck around and do this, TJ.
I
Don't
hate-
chase that shit with water.
Oh no.
Oh, it's
Make it
so
last
It
longer.
multiplies
Yeah.
the
lasts
tussin.
longer.
Right,
It
it's-
is terrible.
You just have to,
It does. It multiplies the tussin.
you just have to sit there and
Got a
tough it.
bottle,
Because
shake
I-
it up, more tussin.
I used to. My whole thing was that I hated telling my mom I was sick because I know I'd get the wombo combo of Robitussin followed by Vicks.
Vicks.
Stop to say that.
Okay,
And I
now-
can't do that
Have we
combination
done
because,
that?
No.
because as I'm choking on the Vicks breathing, I'm suffering.
face.
So I'm just dying on
Okay.
all fronts.
Okay, this
was-
might.
All my senses are
That's my
overwhelmed.
child. It was miserable.
Right. Now this might be a Mexican thing. So the Vicks locations.
So it worked.
Vicks locations though. Where did your mom put Vicks?
Okay. So, it did depend on what illness you had.
Well, okay.
Traditionally.
Traditionally.
Actually, honest to God, no, they hit me with the double whammy. So
Right.
it was chest,
Chest
under the nose.
under the nose.
That was it.
Chest under the nose standard. Did you have any other place that they put it?
Feet.
Feet. I think that's a Mexican thing.
No. I feel like I feel like the old timers in my family.
Because my grandma and my mom, when I was real sick, would put Vicks VapoRub on my feet,
I've heard of that
socks, double
Yeah.
white socks.
Is this scientific proof that works?
It shouldn't. Your feet have nothing
has
to do.
zero to
Your
do
feet have
with it.
nothing to do with
Yeah.
your glands in your face
Yeah.
or your lungs.
It's opening
or-
up all breathing.
Right. It's like the people that
But-
put onions in their socks and they're like, it takes out demons. It's like,
Garlic.
no.
Yeah.
It just puts disgusting onions in your sock.
I feel like
You nasty. Take a shower. That's why it's dirty. You've heard about the onion on the feet.
Yeah.
See, totally random, but now that I'm thinking about it, like if I had some weird superpower, I would want to be able to like produce Vicks Vapor Rub.
What?
So, because what's more
Shoot it at
debilitating? Like, yeah, like
Dude,
menthol.
instead of sweating Gatorade colors, you're just like,
Oh God, that sounds painful.
Vapor Rub.
That's my superhero origin story being like, I can't breathe. Yeah, it's like, oh, actually, I breathe too much.
Yeah.
Now you must suck.
You got some
Clear.
experimental Vicks on you.
It's a weird thing. Weird thing. And I gotta get y'all.
Why does it burn?
And then your eyes start glowing.
I can do.
Start floating.
I can breathe for the first time.
I am air.
Yeah.
So like my grandma, it was weird. She would take like a little bit of Vicks and just
Eat it. Yes,
And
that
yes.
was the
Is
other
that a thing?
No, so apparently,
okay.
in some
I didn't want to say that because I was like, I don't want anybody to think my grandma was crazy.
no, in
Okay.
some elderly and I would dare say some Mexican households, I've actually it was more of an online thing I discovered where people were ingesting it, and you're never ever supposed to ingest.
Granted,
Vicks
she
Vapor
never got
Rub.
sick until she was like 84. But
See,
That's
that's why
because
you-
whatever was
I don't
inside
know.
her was battling Vicks Vapor Rub. This is fighting a synthetic menthol monster.
And it made her stronger,
regularly.
apparently, yeah.
Coronavirus comes in. She's
she would have been golden.
the fuck? Why is everything slippery? And the coronavirus is like,
Nah, I don't
I
like
can breathe.
this. Yeah, right.
It's already in the trap. The Vicks just ensnares it.
coronavirus has like the tendrils and the spikes. The
Turns-
Vicks just grabs the spikes.
the fuck out of here.
Oh my god! No, you know what? I should shut the fuck up because there's gonna be some crazy conspiracy theorist that's gonna be like,
That's gonna
Vicks
start
Vapor Rub.
like chugging Vicks.
Actually, before it got really serious, it was a thing where they said, you know, the inhalers, the Vicks inhalers, which I do have, because that will open up a nasal passage real
Oh no
quick.
shit! Yeah.
So they said if you use those, this is not true. It prevents COVID. Again, not true.
Absolutely not true.
And mom's was like, people were buying them out. Like my mom works in pharmacy. She was like, yeah, people were buying them out like crazy. She
No,
sold out.
that's like
No, it was a combination of that and zinc.
zinc.
Oh.
No, okay.
I'm like, get the
supports your
fuck
system.
out of here.
Right.
To being healthy.
Right.
Look, a lot.
Apparently, the inhalers were blocking the corona from getting into
Oh my
the
God.
nose.
Not how it works.
It's what my mother was
No, you know,
told by a
you know what?
customer. Yeah.
Vicks is the bouncer. COVID's trying to get in. They just
Right.
can't. Dude.
Right.
But Vicks opens the nasal passage.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That defeats the
These
purpose.
don't make sense.
That's like being like, oh man, I got a stuffy nose. I'm gonna get some Mucinex so I don't get coronavirus. And remember that little mucus monster that
Oh,
got
I
kicked
hated
out?
that little
Those
fucker.
fucking commercials. By the
I
way,
hated Mucinex
I found that
Gross.
picture.
What the onion.
Yeah, the sleep with the onions. I don't get it. Oh, look at it. Someone exited out. Thank God. But I just wanted to go to that because that's a real thing for me to find a Google image
the sad
of
part
it.
is you have to tell people that doesn't
No,
work.
pause. Because I'm in the camp of like, hey, if you're on your P's and Q's on terms of like traditional medicines, right? Like where you're like doing your due diligence. Let's say, hey, you're not feeling good.
Right.
You're taking your NyQuil. You're taking your everything.
Common cold.
Yeah, common cold.
Okay.
If you want to put some like, hey, like folk or more home remedies after that point, I'm all supportive
You were gonna
about
say
it.
Yeah, if you
folk
want
remedy.
Yeah, if you want to rub a stick of butter on your heel, if it thinks make it feel better, by all means. We fucking rub the wound that we have and say sana sana colita de rana because apparently that's a healing remedy.
I don't think that works. Here's a
Also, we rub eggs on each other.
And we rub eggs on each other for
Whoa,
bad spirits.
Cooked or raw?
Raw egg.
Yeah, no, not like a hard boiled. No,
Maybe. I don't scramble, perhaps.
It's a raw egg.
just rub scrambled eggs on your ailments. Tommy, that's not how it
I
works.
got a question.
JJ shows up like,
Like an omelet. Just
JJ, why are you covered in scrambled egg? I wasn't feeling good today.
I coughed in front of my mom and she...
I don't want to talk. Actually, I don't want to talk about it.
Actually, Sammy, you got corn chips? You want migas?
No, it's like,
JJ's here. Let's make niggas.
no, but like I say, like rubbing egg on a bruise.
Okay,
like,
I got
that's
one for
thing
y'all,
there.
and I want to see if it's another Black Mexican connection.
Okay.
Earache. Olive oil, or is that just us?
Olive oil. No.
Hot,
didn't
warm
get olive oil.
Warm olive oil.
No, I didn't get olive oil. I did get newspaper rolled into a cone
Yes.
and lit on fire.
Have you had that?
Have not.
Okay, yeah, that's what in mind.
Yes, I have.
Newspaper.
Yeah, bro.
ear.
Time out. Why do all Mexican remedies sound like a dare, bro? That was like
I swear to God, no, because when you said
works.
It sounds like a dare. I was like,
no. So
hey, bro, you know what? Carry you. I dare you.
Every remedy sounds like a TikTok challenge.
yeah, bro.
What's going on?
hey, bro. Oh, my chest hurts
works.
here. Let's rub an egg on it real quick. It's fine.
Raw, not scrambled.
Not scrambled.
Yeah, not
The
scrambled.
newspaper one works if it's just air that's trapped in your ear canal.
Yeah.
When it's that, because the hot air from the fire will just suck
So
it out.
dangerous.
Yeah,
What
no.
happens if an ember gets
You
in
have
there?
an adult present when you do this.
Yeah.
though,
It's a two-man job. You
Yeah,
can't
look
do
at-
it by
look at- look
yourself.
at the images
Believe
right
me,
there.
I tried.
What the hell?
That's real. I've had that done to me.
Let me tell you something.
This person.
Sabotage is too easy for this.
So
To where someone drenches it in something,
No.
you like that shit in your
No,
toothpaste.
no, your mom and your grandma. Only.
Okay.
Because they're the only ones that know the ancient remedy. I don't know the ancient remedy.
and one of them has to hold you down.
And one of them has the whole.
Whoa.
Because it's uncomfortable having a
Is this an
flame.
exorcism or you trying to get rid of an ear infection?
Well, no, see,
like
here's
there's
the
one
thing.
too, right? You
If
can do
it's
that.
just air trapped in your ear canal, it'll work. It'll totally work.
Right. It's
I don't
scientific
recommend
proof.
doing
I
it
get
unless
it.
you have someone else there.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it's easier ways, though.
But
Nah.
if it's,
Okay.
I mean, this was back in the day. It was easier to find, newspaper and a match.
You can't find either of those things now.
I got wood matches here, and you guys are like,
Those
"What
are
the
terrible.
fuck?"
Do you have a newspaper?
I know.
Yeah.
I'd have to go
Well,
to the local.
back in my
I'm
parents'
saying-
generation, everyone smoked, so they at least had lighters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Look at that's a relatively modern ear candles, what they call them, but
Oh,
it's
no.
just a
All
newspaper.
I'm saying is, I'm never letting y'all know when I'm sick. JJ's at my. Hey, I got the newspaper.
I'm gonna show
I got newspaper, eggs, Vicks, and olive
eggs, and a
oil.
boiled
Got another
lizard.
one for you. Got another one for you.
Okay.
Just a precursor. My parents were great. Okay. Whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah, of
For a
course.
chest
Well,
cold.
tequila.
Either
Alcohol.
one.
Alcohol.
I mean, as a child,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rare.
same. Yeah,
Rare.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean-
Thank goodness. All right.
Oh no,
thought
no, I
it
mean
was
no.
just
This
me.
the old school
Yeah.
thing where even
So-
babies they do the
Yeah, they do
lick
the-
of them.
yeah.
Lip of them.
I had an even more witchcraft experience.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, like freshman year, I was in a car accident with my dad.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't a major accident. Like the car wasn't completely fucked up, but fucked
Enough to
up-
get a little shake at it.
enough to like kind of traumatize me a little bit, or
Right.
at least that's what my parents thought. And my dad did like all the like that scene from Taken where he's like, "Here, drink this Pepsi. It'll help with the shock."
Shit, yeah.
But they,
It has caffeine.
but my parents still saw me like kind of like down and acting weird, and they're like, "Nah, we gotta do something about this kid. Let's take him to the witch doctor." So they,
Okay, now mind you, let me pause.
Yeah.
Okay, when we do the sana colita de rana, that
Right.
means rub ass of a frog, loosely translated.
Yeah.
Because in Mexican culture, they're called brujeria. Brujeria is the practice of witchcraft, and then brujas, witches, hang out in like neighborhoods. You can go to like my ex-girlfriend, my first
Well,
ex-girlfriend at LA.
curandera.
Curandera is the right word.
Yeah.
Well, that's the healer version.
Yeah.
Of it. So there's people that do actual witchcraft; those are evil. And then the curanderas use those mystical powers for good, for healing, sometimes with a cost. Like sometimes like the spooky cost. Like, all
Sounds
right,
like voodoo.
Yeah.
neighboring, hoodoo kind of
Yeah.
neighboring, right? But the thing is that they're just in neighborhoods. That's the fucking weird part. Is like, okay, there's the 7-Eleven, there's the barber shop, and there's the curandera, and she has like spooky Virgin Marys and shit in the window, and
Well,
you could
it's
just
like
go.
a tarot card reader.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But higher regarded.
Right.
There's like his tarot card has whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But this
it's one
lady,
of- you're used to seeing the
yeah,
drops. Yeah.
you see him and your mom's like, or let's say your mom's like, all right, I'm feeling bad after a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go to this lady, and she's gonna do some spooky shit.
Oh no, it was better than that because it was like a fucking quest from a video game.
What?
First they consult the curandera and they're like, "Oh, car accident, huh? All right, we're gonna need some like wolfsbane, like some random like plants."
What do you
And
find?
she was like,
these things?
Yeah, where do you find
that was the thing. That was like part of the quest. Is like you got to go like get some grass from your grandfather's
Whoa.
grave. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So it was literally a quest.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a Witcher side quest.
Yeah.
get
let's
me
say.
get me a plain white sheet that you don't mind losing because it's gonna be
Just
gone.
go get crazy.
Okay.
And yeah, so we went out, we got the twigs, we got and a bottle of tequila. We needed tequila for
That's
this.
the easiest thing to get.
Right.
Yeah,
Out of all of this.
Oh, that was
But yeah, she just basically she lit the twigs on fire, and it was kind of like incense, right?
Okay.
Like they weren't burning, but the smoke was filling the room, and she kind of like cast her spell on me, and she's like, "All right, lie down." I was like, "I'm not taking my pants off." She's like, "No, you don't have to. Just lie down." So I lie down, and she throws the sheet on me, and then she basically just like purifies the sheet with more smoke and tequila.
Oh.
And yeah, then after that, I wasn't traumatized anymore.
How much tequila went on your face?
Enough for me to not want to drive.
So she just hotboxed you with alcohol? Is that what happened?
Basically.
And probably weed. Like, I don't know what was in there.
He acted all weird, and his parents are just like, it must
They're
have
like,
worked.
hey, so
Hey, did
we'll
you
take-
know Wolfsbane has tons of THC in it?
they're like, all right, look. So the only way to counteract his former trauma is with new trauma
Yeah.
of a different variation.
This new trauma, he won't discover it was trauma until he's an
later.
adult.
I said, yeah. Your
on.
parents literally had a power. All right, do we want to deal with it now or let him deal with it later?
Well, I don't want this
We'll
fucking
take the
kid.
later.
Might be kind of smart, actually,
Yes.
Once he's out of the house.
That's a yeah. we
Once
can-
he's out of the house,
we
that's
can
society's
apologize
problem.
later. It'll be harder to apologize. Now, you know what? It's like, yeah, let's take him to the doctor.
quick aside, I have a cousin who shouldn't have children.
Sure.
And his kid had a chest cold, and he got stuck with the kid for the first time. Child was about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Heard that, whiskey does it. Got some Jack Daniels.
Okay.
Proceeded to give his 5-year-old son 4 shots.
That doesn't even make any fucking
4
sense.
shots. This happened decades
So
ago.
the kid is now blind. He is a blind child.
No, he's an adult now, and he is he's
You're saying a lot of he's and a lot of hesitation. He's
family. So I was trying to put it in a delicate. He's dumb as fuck.
Oh no.
He's not like that kind of dumb.
like
as fuck.
fetal
He's just-
alcohol syndrome dumb as fuck.
Yeah, he's not that dumb. As
But
fuck.
dumb
He's
enough for his
just-
father to be a guy to give a 5-year-old 4 shots.
Oh, that motherfucker's stupid. So yeah,
I mean, if that
he
is
made-
your-
so he made
I
it out
don't
alive.
I'm really not blaming the alcohol in this equation.
Yeah.
As to why the kid is dumb.
Hey, kid
I think
graduated, like,
the
yeah,
exposure, why the kid might be had some difficulties. The dad obviously gave him alcohol 4 shots.
right.
shot.
Bro, the thing is,
his
it's a shot,
lineage.
and that's it.
Right. No,
It's like actually when you're that young, it's a cap.
look, the fucked up thing about that whole situation, Tommy,
Yeah.
is that we are the best version of our lineage pretty much right now. You got to think about that. We are usually, if things go right perfectly, as intended by life, we are the best version of our lineage, which means that me personally, compared to my great grandfather,
Yeah.
I'm a foot taller, I have better lungs, I'm healthy,
longer
I'm
life
a
expectancy.
burly man, and I should be able to fight Wolverines and shit just based off of the size alone, right?
Right.
Because
Also, Wolverines are tiny.
also Wolverines are tiny.
Yeah, you should
Yeah,
be
but
taking
my
one out.
tiny ass great grandfather have trouble with the Wolverine because he was tiny
You
too.
said your dad was kind of short.
My
right?
dad's he was short for like until college, and then he
Okay.
had a growth spurt. Now he's average height. He's like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
But the idea is, the person who raised the guy who said that 5 shots for his child
Yeah.
was enough.
Right.
What was his dad like?
Did not know him.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a cycle. He
what
tried.
village said, you know what? Let's raise this kid to think that 5 shots for
What-
a 5-year-old.
Fifth Ward, Houston.
Okay.
Ooh.
So,
Anytime, honestly, all wards sound kind of.
if you come from a ward,
If you come from
Yeah,
a
you come
ward,
from a ward. I don't know any good
so
wards.
I usually
Yeah.
ask the general rule in question.
Yeah.
Was it ill-intentioned? Oh,
No, no,
was
he-
he an ill-intentioned parent?
He genuinely thought like, "Hey,
It'll
knocks
work.
it out. Like
Yeah.
it's really bad."
and you
This
can't.
will-
And back in the day, you couldn't Google verify something.
no Google.
Right,
There
no
was no
Google.
Google back.
So if, I put it in circumstances, right, where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, look, like, and this is me being very, very real. Like, if you don't have any exposure to being a parent, and you really and first of all, you were thrust into a situation where, hey, it's like genuinely don't know how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And you're not the sharpest or no, what is it, not the sharpest tool in the shed,
Right.
Not the strongest brick in the building,
Brightest bulb in the bunch.
but that's why I go to the ill-intentioned thing because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like I know dads who shouldn't be dads
Yeah.
who are just stuck in a situation, but they're genuinely trying. That's my whole thing. Like if you're there, you're trying,
Right.
you'll
Right.
figure it out.
It's
If it- 'cause,
dumbassery, sure, but yeah.
like if you're there, like because I mean, there's plenty of dads who won't try and they don't want to be there in
The
vanish.
kid threw up for like 3 days.
he's fine.
Yeah, he got
He's
rid
alive.
of it.
I mean, yeah, he was focusing on that. He couldn't focus on being sick.
He was the black curandero. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, you know what? If anything,
Actually, he sucks, so don't give him any
Okay, fine. I'm not-
awards. You know, but in that instance, he did
no.
try.
If any, I'm just saying, because I also know that. Yeah, I get it. It's like, one day doesn't make fucking 3. Yeah, I get that.
It was
Right.
Will's dad in Fresh Prince.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking. I was like, look, if he was a dad trying and being there, that's different. But, but I also think, hey, maybe this was like a pro-chess move of instilling early why alcohol is bad.
Oh yeah, we talked about
Right.
our first drinks.
I mean, his kid parties like crazy, so
It didn't help.
Didn't help.
Gotcha.
Didn't help. But
help at all.
Should have been 6 shots. Then
That's when it sticks.
Because you know those things, because you know those things where like as a kid you're like, oh, I can never like circus peanuts. I had one and I vowed in all of my days that I can never consume another circus
What were
peanut.
those gummy?
wait, what? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, circus
Yes,
peanuts they suck.
You don't like? Oh, you're talking about the candy or the real like
The
actual
candy's what I
candy.
was gonna mention.
The
I
candy.
can't. do
Oh,
the
like
candy.
the orange ones.
Me either, motherfucker.
It-
That's exactly what I was about to say. They're gross.
it's
Oh,
so
you've never
bad.
eaten styrofoam before?
Oh,
Because
I
that's
don't
what
even
those
wanna think
taste like.
about
By
it
the way,
now.
just real quick to round out the Mexican cures, this is the lineage of our cures. As I mentioned, oh yeah, lime. Actually, lime. Oh fuck you, fucking stupid. Okay, let's for the audio listeners, I'm
Right.
stuttering.
Okay.
Honey, lime, egg, chamomile tea,
Those look like
vapor rub,
lemons.
7-Up, oh lemons. I'm sorry, 7-Up, and Mexican candles. Prayer. Okay, those are our general, and this is Mexican survival kit for Ebola. Remember when that was a thing?
I would switch the chamomile for spearmint.
Spearmint, yeah. Any sort of sharp herbal tea,
Yeah.
good. I thought that I was above Mexican remedies, or like, at a certain point, you're like, okay, modern medicine, guys. That's where we're about. We're the best part of our lineage. We know that some of these fucking magical, mystical things don't work. But then I got bit by a spider one time. I was building a pirate ship for my nephew. It was like a play place.
Right.
Out of like fucking 2x4s. We're hammering away, and I'm minding my business, and up my shorts, I just feel like a bam, sharp pain, right? Inner thigh.
Jesus.
Luckily, inner thigh.
Yeah.
Sharp pain. I slap my leg. I'm like, what the fuck? And I don't know if my sister got this from or my cousin got this from. Like, Angelica, do you have a lime or a lemon? I'm sorry, a lemon? She goes, yeah, it's like an organic one. It's all tiny as shit. What they did, I don't know, maybe you've heard this one. They burned it on a stove. They scorched the top. They go, press it against the wound, the spider bite. And I did. And apparently it was supposed to suck up the venom or the poison or whatever.
I've heard that, but with an onion.
With an onion. So onions, this one, you burn the onion, you put it on. This one,
Things with acid.
yeah, things with
Yeah.
acid, you put it on. It didn't work for shit. But I was out there and I was incapacitated because that shit hurted. I don't know what bit me.
If it was a spider, yeah.
I don't know what it wasn't. Like I don't know what it was. It was in my pants or whatever. I slapped it, probably killed it. But I was just like there holding this lime on my leg, this scorched lime, and I'm
I
like,
got stung
this
by
isn't
a-
helping.
Shit ain't working.
This ain't working. But I wasn't gonna go back and work on that pirate ship because it was hot that day.
Right.
So they called it huevonitis.
Well, one
They said I got
remember
huevonitis in
one
the-
remedy worked. It was if you had ringworm, which I was a gross little bastard playing around in all kinds of shit. Birds.
Yes. How do you get ringworms?
Fucking I was Huckleberry Finn.
Nigga, I was in Africa. I've never gotten ringworm. I was like, that you were in the woods.
I'm barefoot as a motherfucker all the time growing up.
Yeah.
Never had ringworm.
Hey, it's Lagrange.
Okay.
No sit,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, no sit. Probably kind of from another kid, not even that. But yeah, it was tobacco. You wet tobacco and you squeeze it on the ringworm, and it's supposed to get rid of it. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they
Worked.
don't like it.
They don't.
My dad hated it because he had to give up them cools.
Oh,
He was not happy.
not happy at all. Not a happy camper.
Your
By
mom
the
looked over and
way,
was like, hey, I need some of your no.
Oh,
no, let him
every
suffer.
God damn it, buy your own.
I can't do it.
and then I think another one that I had was a
Here's
thorn.
a couple of bucks. Go buy a can of Shaw.
I think it was thorns. I was at my grandma's house. This might have been an old school thing.
Right.
Fell into her thorn. We're playing football and shit, and the end zone is a thorn bush. That's how stupid we were as kids. Like the back of the end zone, which is just her small yard. So of course,
It was
kid
always
would-
a thorn bush somewhere it shouldn't have been.
No,
right.
like,
that
I-
thorn bush or cactuses.
No, my cousin,
California.
my cousins had this. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
Like, they had this huge backyard, And it was dope because, like, you know, it was that backyard where, like, they had pecan trees, so like pecans were always
Ooh,
falling.
that's
like,
nice.
It's not like you could eat that. But in the back of this backyard, which is like I'm talking like thick Texas like wooded trees, and just around this house, because there was a fucking ditch, and I'm talking not like a baby ditch. Like, if you fall in that ditch as a child, you gotta call somebody to get you out.
Oh shit! That's
And
not
of course,
that's not a ditch,
one of
that's
us
a trench.
dumbasses
That's a
fell
booby
into a
trap,
fucking
yeah.
It was like, because the thing was, it was that type of shit to where if that was your
from a
first
cartoon.
if that was your first day there,
Yeah.
and you were like, I'm going, it's like,
gotta
oh, you wouldn't be able to see it. So it's like a
Oh,
no,
man.
and like, and I'm talking, it's like as a kid, it's like a no, like that, it's like that type of shit.
Shit.
And then like I remember that I had, and I knew it was there. But the other part was like, as you're getting closer, like it has the hidden tree branches because there's so many, right? So you have
Right.
the roots that you could trip over. So it's just a trap waiting to happen.
Right.
So I think we're playing ball. I catch something, and I remember it because I used to have like a scar down here
On your foot?
because I remember I had the traumatic fall. Like I did a trip, I stumbled. And then a branch, because there was branches on your way down, scraped me up on the way down and just landed in the ditch. And they were like, all right, look. So
Did he catch it? Because you're 12 or 11, 10 years old. They're like, did he catch it?
I was
though?
like 7.
Yeah.
He's like 7. Did you catch it though?
I was like 7. No.
Aw.
I was. The ball didn't even go near the ditch. I don't know how I got there.
It's all a blur at this point.
All
yeah.
speed all the time. TJ, just running.
Because I always remember, like that house because it was just like so nonsensical. Or how do I describe it? The reason why there was a ditch, or what it was leading, or like what the next area was, because you know how in like how sometimes you have like a short bridge,
Yeah.
like in a neighborhood or something. It's like, oh, connecting one place to another place. So that's like, so next to, like, if you went further past that ditch, like there was another little uprising, and then you're just
Yeah.
into like whatever ravine.
Yeah,
was
like
there.
canal
Oh
or
my
something. Yeah.
gosh.
So the ditch was the safer option,
Right.
to be honest.
The ditch was not the canal,
Yeah.
which had water
You
and
have
could
to
have died.
choose, I guess. Yeah.
Right. But
Literally had to get me out with like fucking like, because they didn't want to tell my parents. They were like, okay, we can because the thing was, they were like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And because I was like, I don't want to deal with the headache of my parents either, even though I was the one who was villainized, right?
I mean,
And they were like, cool, we could tell him that he tripped and he scraped himself, or we could tell him that he fell in a ditch and he scraped himself. They'd rather just say that he scraped himself, right? So they
Right,
literally
right.
did like fucking the magician tying together like fucking like bedcloth to get me out.
oh,
So while I'm having a scrape, I had to do the whole getting myself out.
just crying the
I
whole
have
yeah,
time.
similar
Pink Panther
story.
cartoon. Yeah.
I also fell in a ditch.
Yeah, bro. Ditches are treacherous.
Yeah, man,
How
you
many
can't trust them.
trees? How many trees have we fallen out of?
I've only fallen out of the same tree twice. The
I don't
eucalyptus
climb
tree.
trees.
Eucalyptus tree in my backyard. I was real little.
Fucked my pinky up and it's still fucked up. Yeah, it's not great.
I fell off of a tree when I was like in kinder.
I was
And
like in second grade.
yeah, there was like this carpet that my parents threw out that was like next to the tree.
Yeah.
I landed on it like face first, just like this half of my face.
So you were fine.
I was fine. Like I felt like at the time like I was bleeding from somewhere, but I was like I run into the house and I like cover my face from my mom so she can't see it. And I go into the bathroom and like, oh no, I'm fine. It's a little red, but I'm fine.
Hey, Mom, what's
No,
happening?
No. The next day, this entire half of my face scabs over.
Oh, so that was just the white meat. That was oh no.
See, that brings up we still have an entire thing.
I know, and we're an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's get to
in.
that. Yeah.
No, but
Just quick point.
Yeah.
Like it was like, yeah, like that gives me a thing that I always think about nowadays about how, to be honest, kid versions of you are tougher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Dude, like, cause I straight up, I'm like, cause I think about the concept of me like doing the shit I did.
You would
or
never
me-
do that now.
Or like me, like even falling in a ditch and being like, all right, I'm still play
I'm
after
good.
this shit, just
Right.
wrap it up.
If you fell in a ditch now, you'd be like, I want to go home.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done for the,
The day's
day.
the whole day.
I remember when I would get on swings and just like jump
Jump off,
at
bro!
the highest
But
point.
see, that's
Now I'm like, nah.
I'm good.
That's the weird thing about kids is that, yeah, like shit like that, adults fear. And the shit that they feel, we don't feel, like boogeyman and fuckers under the bed.
Right.
Like, that doesn't exist.
Like that's fucking
Concussions exist.
Humans suck, dude. That's a valid point. Humans
Yeah.
fucking suck as a developmental process.
So much.
Because as kids,
So much.
you fear arbitrary shit, but you are a perfect specimen of health and you.
You are fearless on real shit.
You know,
you're
like
fearless.
like you'd be swinging through cheese, basically, bro. Like,
Dude.
bro, the concept of climbing a tree for fun, like that's
right.
DJ Sammy, what can I jump off of?
That's
What-
dead ass,
you know?
bro.
No, look, I'll tell you one of the worst falls I ever took, and I'm surprised I didn't break my nose.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so I was always a big kid, and when I was at Jackson Elementary, that is not any of my passwords, you fucker. I just realized I gave that away. You know how people, if they put, like, what's your first school you ever went to?
Oh,
I just gave one of those passwords away. But anyway, Jackson Elementary, I was there until second grade, but I was a giant kid, of course. I'm a big kid. And there was one where you had to be in second grade to climb on the big giant jungle gym, right? Now, I don't know how big the big jungle gym was, but it was much bigger than the rest of the playgrounds. It was off in the distance a little bit, away from everything else.
we had one of those too.
But if I can process my brain how big it was, how tall do you think a second grader is?
Oh God, I don't know.
I have no fucking idea, huh?
How tall
3 feet,
are you
maybe?
as a child?
How
Yeah. I
tall
want to
is
say,
where
yeah,
I'm
second
at.
grader, yeah.
4 foot tall?
3, 4. Okay.
That's a generous. Yeah, 4 foot maybe, if you're a good one.
How old is a fourth grader?
I have no idea.
Or fourth grader.
Fourth
yeah.
grader.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not
probably.
sorry. I'm not
Yeah,
sorry.
you said
Not a
second
fourth grader.
grader,
I meant
right?
second grader. How old's a second grader? Kindergarten's 5, 6, 7 years old. Okay.
7 or 8.
So okay, 54 inches height males. So here we go. 54 inches. What's that? 54.
We're not doing that.
54 inches divided by 12.
I don't
Do
know.
it for you, but I don't.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Come on, Siri.
Math isn't good watching.
4.5 feet. Okay, roughly.
Okay.
I think I
Yeah,
fucked
4
that
foot
up.
8.
4'8".
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
Right.
So
So you were
Oh,
6
4 foot
foot.
6.
4'6". So I'm about 4 foot tall. Okay.
Right.
The bar was slightly above me the first one. So let's say 5 foot rungs.
Right.
To climb. Right. Yeah.
We had one.
Actually,
something.
it might have been 3. So the first one might have been 3. So 3, 6.
Was
so
this one of those like
Box.
place-
it was a box jungle gym where it was one layer of grid, another layer of grid, another layer of
So
grid.
it looked like a challenge to
So
a child.
For a child, it was big, and for big
But
kids,
was it
it was high.
intimidating?
It was when I was
We
a
had
kid.
one of those, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's like, how do you get to that?
right.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
I was little, I wasn't allowed there, but because I was bigger,
They
it was
let
still
you
a
go.
challenge for third, fourth graders.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm in first grade, monkey bar. It must have been 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
For a 4 foot kid, it must have been a 10 foot tall
Oh,
at
Jesus.
peak. So because I remember looking at the top and looking at fucking everything, like fucking Pride Rock. It was great. But then one of the times coming down, I slipped on, I want to say the second rung.
Oh no.
So slip, hit my knees, fell over, hit my gut, face first into the sand.
So it was that scene from Titanic. You hit the propeller.
Yeah, I was the propeller guy.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like knees, gut, face onto sand.
Jesus.
And I remember eating the sand. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't know what fuck was at the time. I am a child.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I can still see, but there's tears and sand in my face. But I don't want to touch my face because it's vibrating.
No blood?
Blood.
Oh.
I'm leaking, baby. I'm leaking. And so I'll go and they go, what happened? I fell off the monkey bars. They didn't care because they thought I was a bigger kid. Didn't care.
that's fucked
They
up.
knew that I was there, but I was a bigger kid size-wise. So
Yeah.
it wasn't as... Imagine if a
fine.
2 foot kid fell off that. He would have died.
Yeah.
And I go and I remember like a fucking
first,
adult.
As a side note, I hate that stigma.
What?
What?
Big kids not being
Yeah,
a child?
big fucking
That ain't
big
right.
kids automatically being classed as the tank. I'm not. All right, look, I feel pain.
Yeah, be gentle.
Yeah, bro. I'm just because I have the tank frame, that means that I'm an assassin. I'm a glass cannon, baby. I hurt. I break.
Yeah, I got depression. That doesn't help. Being big doesn't help with that. Being giant doesn't help
Scrapes
with
still
the brain.
hurt.
Right.
Weathering effects, we might have a conversation because the cold didn't affect me as much. And then I lost weight, and then I was like,
Oh, this is what sweaters are for. But I remember it was like a fucking action movie because they go, okay, you got to clean yourself up. They make sure there's no broken nose. I just hit it really hard. And kids are malleable, so if it was broken, it went like beep, back in place. Nobody cares.
Right.
But I remember looking in the mirror, and I remember one of the lights wasn't working in the principal office's bathroom, the fancy office bathroom. And so I looked down, and I look at my reflection, and it looked like a cop that had just got off a beat after losing like a kid in a house fire.
Oh, no.
My face, I had sunken face, blood all over my face, sand all over my face. I looked like I just did battle. as like a fucking second grader.
no.
And then I remember just having to wash all the blood and sand out of my mouth and spitting blood and spitting and that's why I don't like heights anymore.
Well,
Because no, it was pretty bad.
I mean, it's with kids that happens.
I know, but
I was more worried that you fell in the sandbox
the sand was the part that
because I
hurt.
hate sandboxes.
Right.
It is just glass.
Well, it was glass on top of concrete, so the impact hurt. But
Bro,
the
sandboxes are fucked, bro. Like
Bro,
every time,
it's not
like,
fun.
because I remember like the elementary school I went to, they had a sandbox, bro. But it was like that sandbox you didn't want to fuck with because it was always wet. So it was like rock. It was like
Oh,
kids who
man.
played in the sandbox. I was like, man, your family must really
there it is.
suck, bro.
That was it.
y'all are hard.
That was the one I fell off of.
Yes, we had one of those.
Yeah. So what is that? 3 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet.
Bro, in
12.
concept, why is that safe for children?
Right.
Is
Right.
this before your time?
I missed the
No.
the dome one.
Did you not have one of those?
these
We
ones-
didn't have one of those, but we had.
Yeah.
But like our school had like the
We had a
high
big ass
monkey
one of the
bars.
dome ones
So
back
like
in Eagle Pass.
we had similar variation. Just imagine like monkey bars that like were layered.
Oh God, no.
Nah, man. But this one.
That's
So
fucked. Hell no.
so look.
Because the thing is, if you land off this, you fall and you can hit the ground.
Yeah, you
if you
hit-
fell off the stacked monkey bars, you just hit more monkey bars.
That's what happened. And that's what happened. I was walking down here, came down here, came down here,
Whoa,
came down here.
Sammy.
Knee, and it was like knee, stomach.
Were you on the
stomach.
outside or inside?
I was inside, fell outside.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I was so
The funnest part was getting to the very top and going down the center.
right, and I was too scared because it's a fucking. How tall is that? I can't even get a reference.
don't make
I'm
these
6'6". That has to be 6 foot tall, right here.
Can we look? I know we got to get to the next subject.
Right.
But can someone like do an like inventory on the now banned fucking playground?
Oh.
They're all in Russia.
No, that was what I was gonna get to real quick.
Yeah.
Because the phase out happened when I was growing out of it. I was probably
about to say,
the last
yeah.
generation that had metal bars.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Oh well, Texas are usually a little bit behind, so you're fair.
No, we're not behind.
And you're
We're
only
Texas tough.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
We're Texas tough. All
Right,
right,
and
baby.
falling. So let's see, 6 foot right there. That's about 9. That's a 12-foot drop, Tommy. So I got
man.
about right here. I think I slipped here, coming
Jesus.
down here, hit my ankle there, stomach here, face there.
Did you break anything?
No, because
Well,
I was a second
count-
grader.
Count that as a win,
Right.
Because that shit is so fucking dangerous.
The fact that this isn't
Bro,
pitch
it's
black doesn't
dangerous,
help.
bro.
It's a
But
saw
the other
trap.
thing is, here is how I know kids nowadays are dumb because we didn't die on that shit.
we didn't.
Okay, now here's
really
the one.
didn't.
Here's the one where we were in actual danger, and you guys might have had it too because you're in Texas. Is a metal?
If it's metal, we had it.
It was metal, right?
if
The
it's
slide?
metal and a
Yeah.
death trap.
Yeah,
This,
damn right.
this right here. Imagine this on blacktop, and blacktop so hot that the bottom of your soles would melt.
Whoa.
Have you ever had blacktop that hot? Have you ever been on blacktop that hot?
it's
yeah.
fucking Texas, of
Right,
course.
of course.
I
That's the reason why they didn't have a lot of black.
But this
top.
motherfucker
metal
right
one.
here, the
The
metal,
metal one.
the metal slide,
TJ.
Hell yeah.
where if you
JJ.
hit
Yeah.
it with raw flesh,
Oh, that shit.
this-
Oh, that's
it wouldn't
on.
slide. It would just be like,
Oh God,
Bro,
I
bro,
have
come on.
bad
This is
experiences with that.
Texas heat, bro.
Yeah, what are you talking
well, I mean,
about?
Texas heat is humid. Fresno heat is desert
get the-
dry.
no.
yeah, no,
Get the
this is the
fuck
one that's
outta
like, get
here.
the fuck out,
Texas
bro.
is a big state. We have every type of heat you can actually have in this fucking
Because I'm from
state.
D-Town. D-Town's not humid.
D-Town is not humid. JJ, how's West Texas heat feel?
I live in South Texas.
South Texas. How was South Texas heat?
yeah,
Yeah.
hot.
Hey,
Fuck. Yeah,
but
like
look at the shine,
in
the
East
sun.
Texas, yeah, you'll
hitting
get your
it.
humidity, but yeah, no, the sun always hit that shit
Right.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And always looked at
We
you.
had a playground under an overpass, and
Yeah.
they decided to put the slide in the one part that the
It wasn't shaded.
that the overpass would
You
never
could easily
shade.
have put the in the shade.
They could have just turned it around.
How I know that we're on the same page with the phase out was because we had one of these, and then by the time I got to second grade, they also had one of the plastic
The
colorful
plastic,
ones.
and that was
That's
the
what they replaced
transition.
it with, yeah.
Now the plastic one also instead of sand was wood chips.
Yeah.
which I
Which
think
also
hurts.
in concept.
What's worse?
It hurts.
In concept, who says wood chips?
That shit got caught in your
are
shoes.
safe?
No, because I fell off a swing. Or you know, you do the jump when you jump off
Yeah.
the high point.
Bro, and a dead ass. Ding, ding, ding,
Right,
ding, ding, ding.
right. So you jump off, you land, and sometimes you overcommit. If you're top heavy like myself, you fall
fall
forward,
over,
and that's
yeah.
okay because you're landing on your feet and you just hit things. But then you fall on sand. Sand slides. It has some
Slides.
give.
Yeah.
You land on wood chips. It rolls, but you got splinters all in your fucking arm, and you walk up like
Nasty
you said,
splinters.
TJ. You lift your arm. You're just pulling wood
You look
chunks
like-
out of your
pulling
flesh.
You look
Splinters
like
out your
Spike
shit,
from
bro.
X-Men Evolution.
Right. but just my last point here with the slide, though, the trick was,
oh,
children.
God, that
if you-
one was a bad
Because the
one.
thing, just before we move past the wood chip part, like the trick was right is that you had to be the kid who got there when the wood chips had been so pushed off that you're at the dirt. So that way you're not
Right.
catching
Oh,
straight
yeah.
wood chip because it was fresh, nice mud under all
Right.
those wood chips that you had to get to because wood chips are there.
wood chips
Yeah.
hurt.
Wood chips suck.
Which are not soft. I'm like, you unlocked this memory that I
Yeah.
had put in the back of my head of like,
We had pebbles.
See, we had sand. Well, this one went. This middle
We
slide
just
went
had
to
fucking
sand.
rocks.
See, because this one right here, wood chips here. These ones are wood chips, right?
Right.
So this slide, I think it was this one in particular, this model, if I remember, because I remember the rungs, right? These right here. But the trick was in hot ass Fresno, you had to grab a handful of sand, and then you'd have to coat the bottom of the metal so that you could, if you're wearing shorts, so you could have like frictionless, so you could pocket sand, slide, and you slide down with the sand, and that would keep you from having your flesh stick to the hot metal, which I'm sure had to be over 100 degrees on that metal. Of
course.
If it's a
Oh,
97
man,
degree
absolutely.
day,
More than 100.
95 degree, let's call it 93 degree.
It was
generous.
104 here.
Right.
Nah, see, look,
Yeah. It was,
But I'm talking about like
Yeah.
noontime Fresno, California, where
Recess.
it gets hot at 3, the most hot. So if the high is 99, at noon it's about 95, 94. 94 in the center of the blacktop sand,
metal.
metal.
remember that recess got later the older that you went up because they were like they can tough it out more.
Yeah.
Right. But then the last point, going back to the plastic, other than the wood chips, that shit electrocuted you, and I wasn't about
Oh,
that
it
life.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
you
would
just
get
you walk
you.
out, and I'm like, that's not safer. And then you have to throw wood chips to get rid of the static electricity.
My whole thing is that there is some genius salesman out there who I really want to meet, who's able
Sell wood chip.
yeah, who was like, shit,
Wood
my
chip.
lumber company has all this byproduct. Who can I convince to pawn this off on? Hey, wood chips are safe, guys.
Wood chips are safe; they're softer than sand.
They are softer than
Too many cats are shitting in the sandbox. Well, replace it with wood chips.
Problem solved.
coming from the concept of you're not wrong because I remember in kindergarten it was pebbles, like
Yeah.
because I switched or maybe it was the school because I switched schools in second grade.
Right.
But in concept, yes, going from rocks to wood technically is softer.
But like you said, round rock pebbles have some give because I remember the
yeah.
Kinder.
They
Oh,
kinda
They're
do.
small enough and then they slide around.
Yeah.
I
They
mean, it's
form to
just
you,
bigger
yeah,
sand. That's
right.
what rocks
That's
are.
all it is. Yeah. Wood chips, on the other hand, like,
Bro, they're daggers. It's a bunch of daggers that you're just
Yeah.
running into.
hold on. And then lastly, this is my final point. Because my school, I think it might have been low income. It definitely was. I just like saying I don't know. They had in a sandbox concrete tubes as a plaything. They were about
not a
4 feet. They
plaything.
were for us. They were about 4
use
feet
those
tall.
to build freeways.
No, they're for children to play on in the sand.
Oh, wow.
And so maybe they're about 4 feet tall or smaller than these ones, but same concept. And then they put Jackson Elementary on the side, spray painted all cute, sand, and you just crawl in it. And it'd be concrete and sand on your knees. And it was very uncomfortable, but kids thought it was fun anyway. If you're small enough,
you're
you could walk
tunneling
under
through
it.
something,
And then if you were cool,
You walk on top.
you walk on top or you sit on top.
Yeah.
You were king of the goddamn playground.
Yeah. Kids are simple.
Kids are
King
so-
Bob.
King Bob.
Oh, used to love King Bob.
And the thing was, when I sat on top of this spooky ass jungle gym, I was
Jesus.
king too.
For just a day.
Look at that kid. Look at that kid. That kid's the fucking king of that whole playground.
Oh yeah.
That
Top
kid,
of the world.
That top of the world. And then,
Scarface right there.
if you fall down, that is the most humbling experience in your entire
If you
life.
survive, yeah.
If you survive, we will all survive. End scene.
Yeah.
No, so
And I will no, okay.
real quick, we'll do this one quick because I don't think I got much to say about it anymore.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But
well, I think
but you know what it is though.
So I was like, I didn't know.
we didn't talk about anything. We said we were gonna talk.
It's
Talk
fine.
about wood, which is fine because it's compass.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was just gauging because if it was a conversation where we had a lot, I didn't want to make the show go too long for you.
Oh no, it's I'm fine, and
I'm good.
we got 20 minutes until 2 hours, which is our cutoff usually. But Solar, our buddy, gave me a little bit of feedback on putting a point for editing,
Mm-hmm.
like some blackness here, so that when I'm editing, I can just cut out the segments very
There
easily.
you go.
So I have a nice visual cue now. So if I go cut to black for no reason, starting a new segment, baby, and that new segment is what I promised in the pre-show and all the advertising. The man, the myth, the legend, guys, came out with a new special.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle the finest comedian of talking about all that era after Playgrounds. Once I was done with Playgrounds, let's watch Chappelle's show when I wasn't supposed to.
I'm about to say, you definitely weren't supposed to be watching that.
Yeah, I was 12, 13, 14. It came out, what, 2004, that show?
I believe
Chappelle
so.
I was 14. Chappelle show,
3 or 4,
Chappelle
yeah.
show. Ow! Woo! Woo! Yeah, yeah. Let's start the show. It's there.
Right.
And so with that little interlude,
Right.
we know Dave Chappelle,
Well, of course.
one of the finest comedians of our time.
Yeah.
Every,
Which even after this special to me has not changed.
well,
Because I'm not going to discredit his whole past work.
Whoa. Who said we were going to do that? Jesus.
He did say that people were upset to him in his inbox about this special. You said lots of people. I mean, I was, but
I mean, no. Okay, so look, I'm a big, like much like other people, I'm a big Dave Chappelle fan.
Right.
So usually when someone goes through your special, always waiting for my opinion. I was like, I haven't watched this shit yet. I got a lot of angry messages. I was like, I ain't watched it yet, nor did I endorse it. I was like, I was on my social media like, yeah,
See,
Dave
look,
Chappelle,
Dave
y'all are all
Chappelle.
incels. Like, that's not what I'm saying, bro. Like, I haven't watched it yet. I watched it now.
right. And I watched it. JJ watched the problematic parts. Him and watched the last half hour. He got here early on time. So we've all seen the special, The Closer.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, it is his final contractual obligated special for Netflix.
Yeah.
And
If you think for a
reviews-
second that Netflix is not going to bring him back, you must be crazy.
I don't know if he'll take the offer.
I don't think he wants to.
Right.
He said he's taking a break.
He's taking a break, but at the same time, taking a break is one thing. Going back to Netflix, I think he'll find something else that's going to be more lucrative, maybe like HBO Max, perhaps.
Well, he got a pretty good cut from Netflix.
Oh yeah, but
really good cut.
Yeah, they have a
And
good relationship.
Netflix like pulled Chappelle show because he wasn't getting money
Yeah.
off of
Like
it.
they respect him a lot.
Yeah.
That's why he repped him. Like because he was like, they were like, he wasn't getting money from it, so he requested to get taken down.
right. But he indicated that it was going to be his last special, and he figured, oh man, I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this. A lot of my specials have been a little spicy. The more recent run after his return about 4 or 5 years ago, and this is from NPR, man, right off the bat. For Dave Chappelle, punchlines are dares. His new special, The Closer, goes too far, Tommy. Does it? Here's the thing. Dave Chappelle's in hot water because he made a lot of trans jokes. He's been in hot water for making trans jokes over the course of these last 3-4 specials that he's had.
Right.
And he has an hour special, and he spends about 30 minutes of it. I cut to 30 minutes to show JJ the last half, and half of it was trans jokes, if not a majority of this episode or of this whole special.
Yeah, like half of it.
Like more than half.
Yeah.
And people are losing their shit. Transgender people are upset. In my Twitter comments, I put my opinion out there, and a transgender friend of mine was like, "You invalidated my entire existence. Fuck them, forever."
Right.
A lot of people were like that. Fuck them, forever. And this is not a whole review of the whole special,
Just the controversial part.
but I gotta say, I watched it again with JJ, and here's the weird part. This is the weirdest thing I've felt in a long time. Even with you, JJ, right now, one of my great friends here.
Right.
I was gonna show him the Dave Chappelle segment, and I felt nervous of whether I should show him or not.
Why?
Because you know how you show people something that you like? Here is a movie I like. Here's a Halloween movie
Right.
I enjoy. I hope you enjoy it.
Right.
And if they don't like it, then you kind of feel bad, right? You're like, oh
Little
no.
bit,
So I go, JJ, we need to watch this for the show. Is he gonna like it? I had that weird thing because I was listening to it again the second time, and I'm not sure if I did. And I realized that there's gold in them there hills in the comedy special. The special, he's still very funny.
No, like it's the trickiest part is that I will admit that there was some timing and delivery that even if the content I was involved, I was like, damn, that's just a really good structured,
Right, yeah.
funny, like,
Right.
So it's like, so I was like, I laughed because I was like, maybe the content was not in the latter portion, but in the starting part, I definitely was more noticeable of like, oh yeah, his timing's still on point, like he's still funny.
Right. His structure and everything is still masterful. And his structure of the jokes.
Yeah, it's-
Here's the part, Tommy, let me lead you into what I was thinking. Because Tommy and I think are on the same frequency. And
Yeah,
I
we
put
are.
it as this analogy. This is my opinion of the special. It's like watching your favorite all-star athlete trying to throw out a ninth inning.
Have a shitty game.
No, not even a shitty game.
Okay.
It looks like his arm's
shitty
going.
second half, yeah.
No, it looks like he's in the 9th inning. He can't get that 90-mile-per-hour
Yeah.
fastball that he wants.
So it's like-
he can't get that curveball that he wants.
It's a good analogy.
And he's just trying, and you know that he might be done. That's how I felt about it. Because the technique is still there.
Yeah.
The
it's
respect is still
same
there.
Chappelleisms and
Right.
all that good
the,
stuff.
the same going to the edge and to the line is
Right.
there.
Which he was at the edge and line perfectly.
Right. Up until
And then
now.
Then he just took a turn, and it was a weird turn.
Right. And the
Yeah,
thing
it
that
is-
he's under fire for are the transgender jokes that he's
Right.
made. He calls himself a TERF, was it trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that what that term was until about 3 months ago,
Yeah.
where someone made a joke and he's like, oh, I thought you were some sort of TERF or something. I'm like, what the fuck? No, like trans women are women. That's my opinion. Whatever.
Right.
And it's okay for him to have a different opinion. I don't like it, and I think it's hateful.
Everyone has opinions.
Right.
Still, people that think black people shouldn't exist. So,
Exactly. Right. And
It's a
when it comes to
stupid fucking opinion, but it's your opinion.
And when it comes to stand-up comedy, you can say whatever the fuck you want in a stand-up comedy
as long
form.
as it's funny,
But it has to be funny.
it has to be funny.
And honestly,
It has to be so. The more raunchy the joke, it's literally ratio. The more craig your joke goes, the harder laugh or like the harder reaction you have to be getting on the delivery.
right.
So like a light,
It's like you're placing bets.
yeah, like it's literally
Yeah.
placing bets, right?
Right.
So like, I think that there's a lot of times where you can be like, cool, like I'm not gonna get too crazy, but then you probably are gonna get like chuckles and not full laughs,
Right.
The reason why Chappelle always works is because he usually makes big bets. And then you'll follow through and you'll be like the delivery, the execution, and the joke itself is funny.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It
that's
all
why
works together.
it's tricky because like the whole problem is for a lot of times I was like the execution, I can see like there's gold.
Right. There's gold
There's
there.
still very high quality jokes. Man, some of that wording's rough. Some of that positioning,
Yeah.
some of because I was
Yeah.
like,
So-
ooh, this should have got just one more final pass.
Eek, yeah.
Right.
Just one pass.
Now,
Yeah, there's a
JJ,
lot
just
of
having
that.
seen the last part, what did you feel just initially about it? I mean, you were laughing pretty consistently, more than I was out loud.
Yeah.
But I have an opinion that's different, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you mentioned that like this is the athlete like starting to lose it.
Uh-huh.
If I'm being 100% honest with myself, from that first special, I was like, this isn't the same.
The bird
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're
for
right.
me, it was like a long time coming. So this one was like, I don't agree with a lot of what he said.
Right.
Fine. But like TJ was saying, the execution, the lead up still had some comedy and it still had some laughs, some solid hearty laughs from me.
Right.
But ultimately, I was like, yeah, like this is more of the last special.
It's more of the last three specials.
So,
Yeah.
okay, there was, because I think I think the first one was the one that I was like, but then there was one that I was like, okay, this one, I like. This one's great. I think
right.
it was the one where, it's the one where he makes the,
Was it Juicy Smoulier or the Cosby one? Cosby one was before where the chocolate ice cream
no,
reference.
he's the one, it's the one where he makes the child support joke.
Child support. Oh, shit. Which one's that one?
Where he's like, yeah, where he's like, yeah, you know what? He's like, I have unequivocal, it's women's unequivocal right to whether or not they want to have a baby.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's also a guy's right if I don't want to pay. Like that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, like
yeah. That was that's one of the middle ones, right? And they're all kind of
like that one. That one
Yeah.
was really good to me.
right.
It's like out of all those, you can chop them together, like and just take the best
make
of
a
all
good
of
one.
them. One good
Make a
special,
really,
yeah.
really-
one solid.
Right. You
big
can
special.
make
Not
a-
to say that they were all bad.
Right.
Right.
See, my thing is, like the past few years, I've noticed him just stop kind of telling jokes altogether. He's just more of a
Storyteller.
social
'Cause-
commentary and storyteller, which I'm like, I like this.
Right.
Because it seemed like, yes, he knew that, like, all right, my shit's not where it once was, But
And stand up as a
what I-
form is not the
Yeah,
same.
I
Yeah.
think it's more so. It's because of the
It's a different
format.
yeah.
and he
Right.
wasn't well. And here's, ooh, I'm gonna
It
say
worked
for
a
my
lot
point,
better for
but-
Yeah.
me.
No, it's fine.
Please, go
But
ahead.
so going to that, like I'm trying to look at the trans jokes and look at them as a joke, as a joke is
same.
set up and premise. Because the thing is,
Same.
over
I've
COVID,
I've heard offensive fucking jokes about all kinds of people.
Right.
But when they're funny and it makes that person whatever group you're making fun of,
Right.
laugh,
Right.
whether they want to or not.
And
that's
so-
the job has been done.
Right. And so
you
there's
know?
a couple things I've been studying over the course of COVID. I listened to Mike Birbiglia's podcast called Working It Out, where he actually tells you how he's working a joke out word for word, where the story comes from, and things that could work with it and without it. Conan O'Brien's podcast, he talks about comedy form and things like that, and writers of SNL and stuff like that. So I've been trying to study the form. Colbert. Anybody have any objections with that motherfucker? Okay.
Objections, yes.
Yes.
Fuck, no, but a lot of his stuff is about method improvisation and stuff, right? There. So I'm watching this special, and I'm like, where are the good jokes? Where you're making fun of trans people, you're making fun of black people, you're making fun of white people, and the trans ones in specifically, because it's one thing to punch down, which is his whole premise is you're not supposed to punch down.
The whole thing was weird. But yeah, go
Right. You're not supposed to punch down, but you can make jokes about everybody, and it's got to be funny so everybody can laugh. So there was a joke where he was, and I hate taking jokes out of context, but this one is a very short one, and it works perfectly to make fun of the people he needs to make fun of without hurting anybody's feelings for real.
Right.
And they're in there a lot. This one was, he goes, "Man, transgender people hate me." And I was walking down the street one time and said, one guy said, "Hey, we better watch out, Dave. They're coming to get you." And he's like, "Wait, how many theys?"
Yeah.
Right.
I laughed at that.
You go singular
at that,
they or multiple theys. Right. And we had just had a conversation on Sunday.
That was funny.
With your girlfriend, I always say ex-girlfriend.
She's still there?
Yeah, she's still there. No, with
You
your
know something he doesn't know?
no, of your girlfriend, where she was talking about them trying to explain it to Marcos, right? And so when he was like, "Yeah, how many theys?" Because he said they're out to get you.
Singular they?
There's a singular, there are multiple days.
That's
a
That was
funny.
That was
That's
funny.
a funny
Premise
Yeah.
joke,
Perfect Chappelle
because
joke,
perfect Chappelle joke because it's misunderstanding what
It's
it truly
smart,
is.
yeah.
It's knowing exactly what it is,
Right.
and knowing to subvert both of those things. So if a person who identifies as they hears that joke, already doesn't like him, it says they're after me.
Yeah.
It's correct the way he's using the usage.
Right.
So it's multi levels.
it's a
It got a good
smart,
laugh in the
funny
special. It's
joke.
there.
Yes.
There's another one I'm gonna just do vaguely after that. Was it? That's not blood. It's beet juice.
Yeah, that one.
yeah.
So when he was like impossible.
He was talking about transgender
one was
vaginas
funny.
not being proper biological vaginas and saying they may not got actual pussy, but they got impossible pussy.
Yeah.
Or the
Couldn't tell the difference.
Couldn't tell the
But-
difference. He goes, but the blood is beet juice. So that's where it was
So that's
really
two
weird.
things.
Yeah, that's the line, right?
But is it though? Because ultimately the joke is at the expense of trans
Yes.
people, right?
No, and that's what I was saying. Like, I think that with that one, that's where he was on that, like, where he could have gone to. Like,
Well, that-
not to say that he did, not to say he did or didn't. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
in comparison to the last one was in a catalyst of like, because of the way it was structured. I don't think that was at the line. I think that was just a really good.
That was a solid joke.
No,
yeah.
I think
This one was the one where I was like, yeah.
This one's debatable.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so I think the
Actually,
punchline.
it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say.
It's not
so.
debatable, but-
Here's what I'm saying: the punchline was on the line. The setup wasn't. It was over.
Right.
I think he had already crossed the line, and that was a great punchline. But the punchline was in play, whereas the premise itself, where it's "I'm a TERF. I don't think that trans women are women," and he's making a political statement, even though, it's comedy. It's a statement that he's making of his personal beliefs, and you're allowed to do that on comedy. But like you
have
said,
to make that funny.
huh?
You have to.
But
make
you
that
have to make that funny. And
Yeah.
two, that's what conservative comedians do.
What point did I bring?
Yeah, that's what Tommy brought up in our text chat. Like we were excited to talk about this because
Yeah,
you got to be funny.
gotta be.
You have to be funny.
Who are the most unfunny comedians?
And the most unfunny comedians historically are conservative comedians.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
Yeah, it does not work.
Right. And I'm not saying he's a conservative because I think at his heart of hearts, he really loves trans people. I think he supports the community.
He talked about his friend, which
But he
was
talks
a
about his friend,
bizarre
which
thing
and his
over
friends
into-
wouldn't be offended by it, but it's not the point.
That's what I'm saying.
And because-
you know what that was? That's I have a black friend.
I have exactly
That's what the fuck that was.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I think that I don't care if she would be offended or her family's offended by it. I don't care. I think that the people who are alive around trying to fight this fight of trans rights and things like that,
Yeah.
I don't think it helps.
Does
and
not
if it was
help.
funny, here's how it would work. If he wanted his aim
Yeah.
to be, which was if it was funny, it would humanize the trans experience and help people relate to them a little bit more.
No, I think so.
If that was the goal
That was
that I
the
think
goal,
he
which
had in his head.
It couldn't have been though. If that was he had to see himself failing at that, right?
I have a tricky. So okay, let me just go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Let me just knock this out. Look, so I dislike this special, but I don't like hate him or hate it.
I don't hate him I don't know if I hate it as much as just boring, and then
This
it
thing's
could
just not
hurt
good.
people's feelings.
Yeah, like-
Yeah, I don't know if I hate it because I've only seen half of it.
Right.
So.
The first half is not trans jokes and solid.
Yeah.
So the first half, I think
Classic
he's in his
Chappelle.
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
The baby jokes. Those
like,
the baby jokes
the debate-
hit.
The baby jokes were funny.
Yeah.
The baby jokes that was
Yeah.
Right.
that was really funny actually.
Yes.
But like, but
about it.
Space Jews.
Yeah, that was. I didn't like.
I didn't like the placing of that. It just felt very out of place.
Yeah,
and out
right.
of
Kind of
context.
forcing it.
Right. Forcing it.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. Just a reminder. I just want to get some of those beats.
Yeah.
The Space Jews is like, okay, you're making a commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's just clumsy.
It
But
was-
to
yeah,
your
that-
point of the real meat.
Yeah. So my whole thing, right, is or at least my thing was, at the very least from what I was seeing, right, and I didn't watch like to the very very end. I think I had like 10 minutes left. Like,
That's fine, you
like,
didn't miss
yeah. Okay. So I feel like I got to the meat because I was
Yeah,
like,
it's fine. You got the
Just
J.K.
kind of
Rowling
him
stuff.
Congratulating
yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
For starters, can I make just a general PSA and something I really hate? Watch the special before making a commentary.
Yeah,
Of course,
you can
which
always
is
do
why I
that,
wanted
yeah.
everyone to watch it.
Because you cannot be making a commentary on something if you take
Yeah.
it. Jokes are horrendous out of context.
Right.
None of those jokes would fly out of context.
Jokes
Delivery
written
is
down.
important,
No, jokes
yeah.
written down
Down-
are awful.
Yeah, like
Yes.
like you can't do that. So just watch the special, create your own opinion, and if you feel how you feel, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. But my whole thing was, and I get what you're also meaning because I have this. I've had this feeling from the sense of the way that he's approaching. And he's like, hey, you know what? My whole thing is like he's equalizing. He's like, there's no group I won't touch because everybody, jokes bring people together. Every group is free targeted.
Right.
I think the problem here is the balance of which communities he's addressing, right? And
Right,
for time
yes.
frames.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of the times, because the one defense I'll give Dave Chappelle, and I'll give him this hard, is that he did like a bunch of specials, a bunch of time, a bunch of energy at the expense or leveraging the African American community, and it was profited from and things of that nature, right? So where like
With his Chappelle show.
with his Chappelle show, with even his comics, like a lot of the jokes that a lot of people vibed with were in like reference to a lot of black people, and it only worked because he was black, right?
And sometimes the expense of.
sometimes
right.
the expense
Because
of
not
black,
everybody got the joke.
because not everybody
Right.
understood the joke,
Right.
right?
And that's what I went back to watching the special to that point, which was, man, we've been cool all these years making fun of black folk.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm Rick
Like-
James, bitch, ha,
Right.
fuck your couch.
Yeah.
But then like, okay, am I just being weird because it's trans people now? Am I okay to laugh at black
No,
folk?
and so-
that was the question I asked myself too, and that's the question you're asking people.
So that's I was like, yeah, like is it okay just because like it's a different group
Right.
that is harder to that's harder to navigate because I don't like the realm where you can't make jokes on a group that you don't identify with.
Right.
I'm cool. I'm cool with white comedians making black jokes if it's funny. I'm cool with black comedians making white jokes. They actually do all the time.
Right, right.
Like,
Bread and butter. Yeah.
comedians being able to branch across different communities is super important. But where it gets a little more complex and the complexities lie is when you get into this area. with
Marginalized groups.
marginalized groups, but marginalized groups in particular to the LGBTQ community
Right.
and trans community. Gay. So he had a section at the start that were in reference to gay jokes.
Yep.
And you could tell that in terms of their craft, in terms of the way that he addressed it, it was a lot more clean
Right.
than when you got to the trans jokes.
But- yeah.
But it's also because he spent quite a bit of time getting to that point.
Right.
Trans is not a newer thing, but it's always an area that isn't joke.
It's a newer acceptable.
It's a newer
in the-
exception
in the context,
pantheon,
yeah, in the
right?
pantheon, yeah.
And so whenever you're addressing those things, right, I think he was very sloppy. I think there's a lot of points that were at the expense of the community, and not necessarily like completely, but there are plenty that were, but not everything was completely at the expense,
Right.
And I'm not justifying him at all. Just like I think I have to keep on saying that.
We
because
like the
someone will-
trans folks.
Like,
Get
I'm
your
not-
trans t-shirt at mexmerch.com.
Don't sell shit.
Damn it. because I'm not because I'm not part of that.
Come get your pride.
Because I'm not part of that group, right? So I'm not trying to I don't know what
Right,
would
yeah,
impact,
yeah.
what would impact and hurt them.
Right.
But what I can say is that it's just, I guess it's this weird area where I think that it requires a lot more nuance and a lot more well planned out execution if you're going to do that. That's terrible.
Sorry, I just love
That's
that.
terrible.
I'm just fucking with you because you were being so serious. I'm sorry.
It's about as subtle as a brick.
I'm sorry.
Like, and so you could tell that this was like, because the other part was it didn't feel. I know it wasn't attacky, but I was like, because you spent a third chunk of it on there. That's what just amplified.
Right.
Defensive was
Yeah,
what.
it was very defensive because you can
Yeah,
tell
that's-
that he's sick of this backlash.
Yeah.
So instead of going like, let me, not, cause he was like, let me not do the jokes. He doubled down, which wasn't
Right.
the best way.
Right. And here's where my
That's-
final criticism
yeah,
of
we're
it
just-
in the midst of that.
yeah, it's tricky.
Which is, and this was telling you about why it felt so forced and so defensive. Okay. Dave Chappelle used to make jokes and let them sit. He would make jokes. You'd have a white white supremacist, and you'd have to watch it, and then he'd be go, "All right, guys, next to commercial break." That was his whole show. He would do something shocking and move right along. If you got it, you're on board. You got it, you're good. I wrote this well enough. We're done, right? The baby in the strip club, in the selling drugs in the strip club. That stand-up comedy. He made that premise. Hey, baby, get inside. I'm selling drugs. Right?
No, I mean, he like even when he was like, yeah, I say some shit off the wall, but then I listen to the baby's comments like,
Yeah, exactly.
I can't help him there.
I go. He's like, I go hard in the paint, but goddamn,
You can't do that.
But this was the part where I realized, oh no, he's not confident in these jokes, and this is how you see Superman bleed for the first time because he kept saying, "Oh, I'm going all the way. Oh, I'm being real with you." Oh, he peppered that in so often, more often than he's ever peppered it in.
It didn't feel like Dave Chappelle. That was the thing with me.
No, because Dave Chappelle would say those things without hesitation.
You're right. No, I know Dave Chappelle specials
Right.
like the back of my hand.
And there was the one where he did the trans one where he says he's a TERF, and then everyone's like, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm in trouble." Let it sit. Let people realize that you're in trouble. Let people feel what they feel, and don't say, "Oh, it's about me and the consequences of my jokes," because it's not a funny one, or it's not as good, or it's not as sharp. If it was a sharp, funny joke, who would be laughing the hardest? The fucking trans people. You know how comedy works? Dumb, weird example, but apparently it's super popular. The Book of Mormon, the musical, fucking packed with Mormons.
Yeah.
It shits on the Mormons for 2 hours that play. But the Mormons love it because they're shitting on them in a way that understands them, specific to them, and in a way that is unique to them, that they'll get things because they, Matt Parker and Trace, mix them up, Trey Stone, I'll fix it. They cared about it enough because they were fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle, I don't know if he's fascinated. I mean, he might be fascinated or curious, but he has no real love for them as a community. I think he has love for the person.
That one person, yeah.
Yeah, I think that. So that's
Daphne.
I think that's where you can tell because I feel like in terms of the pantheon of Dave Chappelle's comedy, right? I think that he genuinely has representation of people and friends in most groups. I think trans is probably the one where he doesn't.
Right.
That's far.
Where I think that
Yeah.
he just doesn't like get that aspect, which is why these jokes are like, yeah, dude, like.
And
you don't belong in this wheelhouse.
You're shooting kind of blank here because
it's clear you don't understand. Like that's
no,
what
and
it seems
that's what
like.
made Chappelle's show so perfect.
Yeah, you
was
understand black people. He spoke so eloquently every time he does. When he was just doing his, speaking / comedy specials, so eloquently when he tells his stories, when it's in regards to black people's rights. And us making it.
No, I feel like he does that. I feel like he does that in I feel like he's gotten comfortable in doing that in a lot of other demographics too.
Well, I mean, I don't hear him talk about many others.
Right, but that was the thing that made Chappelle's show so perfect was that because he loved black people and he loved the
and that's
experience.
fine, yeah.
And then he had another
That's a
person.
job all in itself.
No, and then he had another person, Neil Brennan, who I've started to follow more.
Who's actually hilarious.
Wait, no,
Shit, his specials are way.
His special, and I might go to New York to go see his new one off
That's
Broadway
a good
like
one.
this next month,
That's
just
smart.
because I want to see it. But him loving black people also, he'll say, I love black people more than white people. He'll say it on his podcast.
Right.
With them two together writing those things, it was out of a place of love. So when you get black white supremacists, when you get the milkman guy, right?
It's funny, but it
N-word
has a point.
It has a point.
Yeah.
It always did.
And when you get that point, you get it.
And I don't think, and like you said, he doesn't have any relation to the
Yeah, none of
community
those
other
have a
than
point.
attack.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like.
Right, and so now he's playing defense, but I don't want to watch him play defense. I want to watch him play
that's
offense.
uncomfortable to watch, man.
Right.
Like, I don't know. To me, he was lazy. It was very lazy. And he
was
was in a
very
place.
lazy.
And yeah, he went to these weird kind of defensive things of almost reinforcing his confidence himself.
He
Like,
did 2 AIDS jokes back to back that like, oh, AIDS jokes. Remember those?
Yeah.
I'm the Magic Johnson of coronavirus. Okay.
I didn't dislike that one.
No, they're funny jokes, but
Yeah, I
they're
was like-
simple. I can make that joke.
Well, I mean, I don't care. It's simple as fine. You need simple ones to pepper.
No, because that was a really quick. He was like, yeah, I like don't qualify me, like
Right.
because he was like, yeah, I got corona, I was fine,
Right.
and like he was making fun, like,
He's making fun of the whole situation. That, I mean,
and it wasn't ticky tacky. It wasn't like because corona like I know how it feels like, oh, it's a simple joke, but it's an area that is controversial. And he's
Right.
like, and he wasn't, and you could tell that he was framing it in a way he was like, don't not get the vaccine. He was just like, because I'm rich and famous, and then you linked it back to being
poor.
So like, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
In terms of a construction, you need some, like you're saying, you need
Yeah,
simple
you
ones that
gotta
you're not
build
thinking
up
about.
some
Right.
joke.
And that's Dave Chappelle's
That's
bread and
fine.
butter. Premise, diversion, setup.
Right, that's fine.
Right.
But that shit it just went off the rails to me.
Right.
It really went off the rails. And it was like, he's sitting here, he's like, I'm the GOAT. And, talking about when he left the money from Comedy Central, went to Africa. I'm like, dude, all right, cool.
Right.
You did it.
Right.
What do you want a medal for that shit? Like, goddamn.
Right.
And so he got all of that. And then on top of that, he tells a story about his friend and mentions his friend killing herself.
Right.
And, the groans and all
After she defended him
Yeah.
over the trans jokes from the other special.
Right, and apparently him telling that story was supposed to absolve him of everything.
Oh my God, Frisco Flames is raiding. This is a very inappropriate time to raid.
Yeah, it's a terrible time.
We're over here like, yeah, and the trans person passed away, and
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, man, it was, to me, you talk about not punching down, and you literally did, and I'm sitting there.
But here's the last part that I realized. Unless you have one more point.
I mean, I wasn't done, goddamn.
No. But no. Here's
Okay.
the point. Here's the point. And
All
this
right.
is my cap of it.
Yeah.
He says it. He says the premise of the show several times in the middle, and I think he's trying to make this equation, and I think he thinks he's beating it, but he's not. Which
Yeah.
is, black folk have been repressed and suppressed for a long time. Trans people are in the Progress Olympics are surpassing them. You can't
No, gay
anger-
people are
or gay people
surpassing
and no, but trans too. I think.
No, he didn't say trans.
I think he feels that way though. I think that's
the
why.
very wrong opinion.
No, but I think
Because even in the
super wrong opinion.
because even in the in the
The
community,
LGBTQ
in the LGBTQ
plus.
community, the T is the one that gets flacked the most.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
like that is probably
Within that community.
and
within
strangely
that community.
bisexual
Within-
shortly after apparently. But it's just like trans and then
Yeah.
bisexuals get fucked with.
Yeah, I didn't know they had that problem. But
Yeah,
they do, yeah.
But anyway, but I think that he says gays have already making pass. I think he's maybe not upset, but I think he wants to make the point that trans people shouldn't be moving in front of the progress line of black folk because we've been at it longer. I wish it was going as well for us. He says.
Is it a competition?
And that's what the thing. He's saying that other people aren't listening to him because he's like, it's never been about trans. It's always been my beef has always been with white people. He says, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that part.
because he does have a joke in there, which I did think was a really complex joke that was on particularly the gay community.
Right.
But it doesn't work in the same way as it could work with the trans community because you wear that one outside.
Those
Right.
are two different
Right, like-
communities.
like
You
it's-
know- you can't lump them
Yeah,
together.
like it's too like so the thing was because he said and it's not a joke that's been isolated a lot in articles I was reading
Yeah.
where he's like, hey, gay people can be gay, or gay people
They're
can be a minority
minorities until they need to be white.
until they need to be white,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really good joke, really good like.
Oh, I like that.
That
But
was
it's like
really good point.
Like that would have made us a great like. But what was this, the build up and the setup to that? That was what that joke lacked. To me.
Right. And so
I thought that joke, like I thought that that was the one where I was like, cool, he's getting back to that calm. Like I thought
Yeah.
so that was because that was early on.
Yeah.
I thought that was the direction.
right.
Where I was like, cool, that feels like it's on the line.
Right.
He's being funny,
yeah, we're back on the
educated,
line.
and then it's like, cool. Like he says something like this, where most people could be like, damn, that's spicy. But
I'm thinking.
yeah, I'm like,
But
yeah,
I'm
it got me
thinking it's
thinking.
insightful.
Yeah, it's
That's
insightful.
what
And-
that's the strength
And
of his
they're
humor.
in there, the baby thing where he murdered a man in a
Yeah.
Walmart and it
In
didn't
there.
affect his career at all.
But that's in the first half.
And that's in the first down, but
Yeah.
that's Chappelle premise.
classic
like, oh
Chappelle.
shit. But then when you go to him saying these things about the trans community and about like how Caitlyn Jenner was a woman of the year in her first year being a woman. Like that's a commentary saying, and he goes, all the women of Detroit ain't shit. That's what he said in the joke. Listen to that context where he's upset about that.
Yeah.
He's upset that there was a trans woman that got to be Woman of the Year over probably a qualified or not. Let me watch my phrasing. Well, no, let's say qualified. Let's say qualified. Let's say qualified in terms of education or public service,
or who had been put. Because Caitlyn Jenner, it was more of publicity. It was like in terms of like there was a lot more publicity surrounding.
She was a woman and came out as a trans woman, whereas there could have been like that's just false equivalency. But Stacey Abrams, who's out there, foot to the ground, making protests and things happen, right?
Or even another trans woman who'd been doing it for longer,
or who had been like feeding the homeless and building houses.
Because
got like or something.
Right? Yeah, like I'm more than certain that there is like some really prominent trans individuals who had been put in a lot more work,
right? And
specifically more recognition,
and specifically black trans. Let's say that, right?
You got to put that out there.
Then you got to say it. You got to isolate that.
Right.
This is the point here, and go. Yeah.
But he didn't. And so what happens is it comes off as I'm mad that a trans person is more of a woman than what I think in his thought.
That's what I
think is a real woman because I'm a TERF.
It's hard not to hear it that way.
Right.
And it's really hard.
Right. And so then now that is a valid criticism over just saying, oh, he's transphobic and he hates gays and that's the simplified version. He's not doing that because the jokes aren't set up that way.
To me,
the jokes are premised in a way that you could go one of two ways and he just chooses wrong every fucking time in this special.
If someone could make the argument that he has beef with the trans community, I could see this special.
I don't think that he does.
But I don't think he does.
Right.
I don't think he does either.
But someone could make that argument, and I'd be like...
He feels some kind of way about him. Yeah.
I think he feels myth. Okay, so I think the core fiber of this being... I really think the core of this essence, which has a tiny bit of validity to it, he's like, we can make jokes on everybody else except for this community.
You know what that is? A white person said, "Why can't I say nigga?"
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
No, and I think it's different.
Real quick. No. Let me talk. Okay.
Volume down.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, dude. I'm not.
No. I'm just saying.
I got
volume.
Yeah, I'm with you, dog. Tommy got me scared. He was like, "Nigga, let me yell."
I just don't talk that much. All right, look. So here's my thing.
JJ's right here.
What about JJ? That was good. Go ahead.
JJ's like, I hate trans people. No.
No, hold up. He's been sitting on a point. Go ahead.
So the whole thing is everything he said. He talks about white people and the things white people do to black people. Boom, boom.
Right.
Very good at doing that. I don't think he realized everything he did in that latter half of the special.
No, it
was that.
Yeah,
I have a trans friend, black friend. Why do trans people? Why can't I make fun of?
I'm
trans
rich.
People?
I'm Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
That's a different argument.
No, but that's a sense of entitlement.
Yeah, sense
of I can do this because I am status.
Yeah, I caught that. And to me, the whole thing with like the black and trans community, it baffles me. Just black people in general, it baffles me. So TJ, I don't want to get killed because of how I look.
Nah.
Do you?
Not really.
No other reason.
Nah.
You know the life expectancy for trans people in America is like 35.
You're right.
In America.
And black trans, even less, I think.
Even less.
It's like 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's like 25.
25.
This ain't like, because, this ain't, to be honest, I think the only place where trans has kind of got itself sorted out is South America.
No, South America.
Right there. No.
Some places.
No, so...
Thailand.
Thailand's going to be one, if I'm not mistaken. But we're even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I said we're worse.
Central Americans or Mexicans and all that stuff, we're terrible with trans. Yeah. And the thing is that...
That's why I said South. Like,
oh, you said that they don't have it figured out or do have it figured out?
No, because I said there's a lot of... there are countries where it's more a common occurrence. Or it's more like it's been there for a little bit longer and prominent.
Right.
Like Europe.
But South, you're saying that the South America does not have it figured out.
They don't have it figured out, but there's more prominent.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, because there's I've found just real basic literature posts of gay Mexican people just out in public and trans. There's like there's an indigenous tribe that had a third gender already assigned for people who are trans or pardon my French, effeminate males, things like that.
Non-binary.
Non-binary, that's more appropriate. Non-binary, and it's a different, I think it's like mujer with an X or something like that. It's its own term.
Right.
And so there's ways, and they've always existed, trans people and people.
It's
the beginning of time, right?
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, right?
Right.
But ultimately, if this is how he feels about it, if this is how he thinks he can make the best jokes of it, then he's losing his touch, and that makes me very sad. And I would say Jon Stewart's very similar in that way for me.
Yeah, he's
losing his touch too.
They're getting, dude. The world has changed a lot, and I'm sorry.
The world has changed.
Not John LaFontaine. Yeah, but no, like, and that's the thing. Like, it is no country for old men in this bitch for some people. Like, it just is.
Right.
Like, it's things we're not that fucking old, and it's some things we don't understand.
Bro, we got yelled at from 2 22-year-olds about the whole
you should know about
they
that.
them trans.
You're old enough to know that.
Well, no, I was just saying the younger girlfriends, Marcos and TJ's
the
girlfriend,
future, man.
they were just like, "Why don't you understand they them? You trans people, you fucking morons!"
That
like
is the encroaching future.
And can I please quickly clarify and to save y'all too?
Nope.
Look, so it wasn't that they didn't understand. It was
I
more.
didn't say they didn't understand.
I said Marcos didn't. Marcos didn't understand.
Marcos straight up, like Marcos was literally like the usage of they them. Like, it was that aspect was the confusing aspect.
His
for
brain, I saw sparks above his
no.
brain. Just he didn't get it.
Shit, I tried to defend y'all, and I ain't about to throw myself in the ditch. I'm good. I wasn't in. I understood.
You already threw yourself in a ditch several times.
I wasn't there.
I know he did very well. I think.
I'm
You
okay.
did.
Hey, I'm tall enough to climb myself out. I
The
don't need
wood chip
ropes.
ditch.
Yeah.
The wood chip ditch.
But no, I think that's a real.
Dude, so yeah, to me, just like wrap it up for myself.
Yeah.
Like, he could have went that whole angle. It's a lot of similarities between the struggles of black people and the struggle of trans people today. It's a real big difference. White people don't like things they don't understand, right? They hate it. They fear it. They make them uncomfortable. Same fucking thing.
Right.
He could have gone. He could have gone the route.
You could have done something with
yeah,
that.
you could have gone the route of unity versus, hey, this is another group.
Yeah.
But the thing, so I think this extends to most forms of comedy, right? Where I think the clearest sort of area of, clear yes goes, no goes is, simply put, black and white.
Right.
It'll always kind of be the one that's the most clearest cut go. And then I think that Hispanic comedians usually stay in touch with the cultural aspects, but then they can also touch on, hey, black, white, things of that nature. 'Cause
Right.
A lot of the only
race, yeah.
comedians that like you don't really I think Asian American Indian communities or comedians are also in that camp where like race jokes have kind of been figured out, or you know how to navigate them to be
Yeah.
funny.
Right, your Joe Coys, your other guys
Dude,
where they can do things.
I don't think that the reason why some of those worked out is because Chappelle was part of that community and then made that the standard of like, cool, right?
He's a lot of
There's not a
people's
trans
inspiration.
community. Like a trans community, comedian.
Comedian, yeah. You're right.
A trans comedian,
That has broken that door open.
like who breaks
Yeah.
that door, sets the standard of like, okay.
There are
we're-
trans comedians that exist, but not that mainstream.
Yeah, like that.
Right.
So you know what, like, okay, so this is
To write the rules.
Yeah, like to
Yeah.
set the standard.
Our rules have already been written.
For a
Fucking
while.
Richard Pryor wrote our rules. Like, we have our rules.
So there's no one
That's
to
a very
write the
good
rules.
point. I like that.
Right now, I'm trying to
It's
find.
like,
I'm trying to find the one. There's a trans
You
comedian.
don't know what's okay
What's okay?
because even with
You don't want to hurt that community, man. Like,
You don't wanna-
And if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you stand a very good chance of doing that. Because jokes like that placing those kind of
you're
bets,
placing bets and then you don't
you were crapping out.
do.
You're not. It's not working.
Right.
It's not.
you
It's
know?
not working. And now, granted, do I think that anybody should be taking this shit to heart? No.
If you're trans,
Look,
I think
man, yeah,
you're fully
yeah,
allowed.
No, time out. The reason why I'm saying you shouldn't take it to heart is because he's like, not because I'm defending Dave Chappelle, not because I'm defending anybody. It's because at the end of the day, it's some rich dude who's making
I
these
feel like that makes it worse.
who's making these comments towards your community, right? And I don't think it should impact you in terms of like, hey, you know what, this is gonna hold me back. I think this is like, I think the benefit of this and what a lot of people are leveraging it and why I'm saying it like this is because it's not as though they're using it as a lot of the people I've seen are not hurt by it in terms of like, hey, they're directly impacted, but they're seeing like, hey, this is so insensitive and this is showing the lack of education that you have in this area,
Right.
which I think is a way more crystallization and a clearer cut sort of way of approaching it. Whenever you're branching it out, because what I fear is, and what happens a lot of the times is, when you let it be shown and known, it's like, yo, oh, like we're pit, like it's like, oh no, we're not pissed. I'm like hurt by this. The communities who are the most bigoted are like, cool, they're just hurt, keep it moving, right? Versus like, yo, like the way that it works is like, oh, I'm not hurt, but this is a point of education, and I leverage this, and yeah, you are going to hurt somebody with these words. It allows for more. I would put it not allows for more fluid conversation, but to me, like that's how you avoid a lot of those Twitter back and forth, the nip naps with the dumber individuals, because the first thing that they're going to latch on is, oh, they're just hurt to be hurt. Like, they're just hurt to be hurt. And I hate that. And I hate that for any sort of like a minority group.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, just like how, like, you know, I'm certain there's instances where you've seen like African American jokes that you're like, that didn't sit right with me. Right. From a comedian who you know, you're like, that didn't sit right with me. Didn't hurt me on a personal level, but I was like, okay, this is how I can show why this is bad. And I think that like through this, I think last time, so this is something that didn't happen last time. Last time the trans community had this, last time this was like, he had an issue with the trans community, I feel like it got shut out because people kept on saying, oh, they're just hurt for no reason.
Right.
I think this time people are like, no, we've been through this before. Now we're just like, now pointing out all.
Yeah, that's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Dissect. Yeah, so
yeah, they're dissect. So I'm seeing more dissections of that, and there's no way that you can argue against it because you're like, cool, like they're laying it out verbatim.
The Black Coalition got involved.
Yeah. So I know that at first that sounded like a very bigoted point, but it gets to the point of like, I feel like the communication flow of this one is a lot more put together, a lot more power behind it, and a lot more people who are genuinely expressing.
Mike.
Yeah,
something good, Mike.
And like people are and I also set the stage of like, hey, people actually watched it this time, right? And like, and before they leaving that commentary, which is, so they're like, cool, I had the context, and now I can fully point out why this is wrong.
Right.
Like, because the turf thing inherently, turf in and of itself is a pretty cray-cray statement, right? But even the setup allows for that. Like, how do we get to that point outside of just turf being wrong?
Right.
Like, okay, cool. There's aspects of the setup. There's aspect of the delivery. And then all those points paint a lot clearer of a picture for education to be shared easily. Hopefully that made sense. Like, I wasn't trying to be like, oh, like you shouldn't feel hurt.
Yeah, but the start off was terrible. Well, yeah, no, I got after you spoke.
It's like it's not that you shouldn't. It's like it's maybe I should phrase it like this. It's not that you shouldn't be hurt. It's like that shouldn't be the limiter. Like that shouldn't be the stopper.
That's a way better way to put it. Yeah.
That shouldn't be the limiter.
Way better way
it should be the stopper.
Yeah.
But you know, and you also have like I will squash this right now. Yes, comedy is subjective,
Of course.
semicolon. However, oh come on, y'all got to know when something's not funny and something's wrong.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
It's a form. And
Just because a comedian's a comedian doesn't mean everything he says is going to
Right.
Right, yeah. Well, no, something that he mentioned reminded me of a story from behind the scenes on The Simpsons. This was like mid-90s Simpsons. I don't remember what season, but there was an episode where John Waters guest stars, and the premise of the episode is that he's new in town and the family becomes friends with him. Homer doesn't realize that he's gay, and Bart takes a shine to John Waters' character. So now Homer, after he finds out that John Waters is gay, is like, oh shit, Bart's gay. And that's the entire premise of the episode. He's trying to fix Bart so that he's not gay. In that script, the original script, the writers didn't know that the F word was offensive to gay people. So in the original script, it had it in there. And to their credit, they asked John Waters to read the script before they even, I think, asked him to be on the episode.
Uh-huh.
And they just asked him, is there anything here that you would change? Are we stepping on any toes? Like, what's wrong?
Right.
And he said, the script, for the most part, is fine. Just get rid of that word.
Yeah.
And yeah, they changed it. And I think they replaced it with queer. And they asked him, like, is queer fine? And he's like, yeah, queer's fine. Totally fine.
And there you go. And
So
that's
he-
how we learn.
so that's what like, and that's what I'm saying, because it's very easy for, because I just know, I mean, shit, we're in Texas. I know how many people will hear that people are mad at a Dave Chappelle
Yeah, brush it
special
off.
and just brush it off. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I got onto my girlfriend too because before I left, she's like, "Oh, did you hear what happened to Dave Chappelle?" I was like, "Did you watch the special?" She said, "No." I said, "Okay, don't talk to me."
Right. Right. You can't.
I said,
Yeah, no, I believe that shit.
and she would be,
And I was like,
and your
and I-
girlfriend, as much as she cares about the trans community, because she was the one explaining it to us, right away, she's gonna be
Mad.
eyes on fire. Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. Like, I will support. The thing is, I know for a fact I'm on the same page with you, but I do not. But I really don't.
It's a good lesson.
Like, I don't.
Like-
don't because let's say you go online, let's say you go share your opinion, and if somebody asks you that question of if you watched it and you say no, you're immediately invalidated.
Right. I read
But-
the article.
It's crazy.
I read the article.
Well, that was the whole point of
Heard
his
what he
premise, was
said.
that people were referencing an article of his first show that accused him of all these things, that he's punching down, that he's against community. So that was his whole point. His whole point was that he wants people to watch the show, make a decision, and listen to him. And we are listening, Dave Chappelle, but it's not that good.
In the
Figure
end,
it
when
out.
he's like, he's not going to tell me more jokes till we're laughing together. It just was weird.
No, that's the point.
I was like,
no, but that's
what?
the point. That's the final piece, which
Right.
is, if they're not laughing with you, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
You basically just said
and you
it.
can't say that, oh, you're just, I like the old Stonewall gays where they could take a joke and glory holes and I want them to be tougher. No, you can't make people tougher. And you can't force them to be, because you know what makes you tough? Trauma and war and fights.
Right.
And those motherfuckers deal with it way more on a daily, nightly, monthly basis than
Time
we've
they walk
ever
out
had
the
to do.
fucking door.
Right. Y'all are black in Texas. You guys get shit thrown at you every so often. You're in Austin, so it's not so bad.
Nah, I've not.
No,
Not
but
here.
you've had a gun pulled on you 3 times in your
Yeah, I
life.
was LaGrange in Houston.
But still.
Here I've been fine. But yeah, I get what
Right.
you're saying.
I'm on
But-
the inverse. I've had worse. I came from Backwater, Texas, and here's where I've experienced the most racism.
Right.
Here.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Now put a black trans woman, put a Mexican trans woman. It's going to be the same everywhere. If not more, worse.
Like I said,
It's a matter of
No, what are you
it's
talking
better
about?
worse.
It's going to be worse.
Worse.
Or
and depending
you
on
step
where
out
you're
of
at.
the house,
Right.
you have risk of being ridiculed.
Right.
and,
No, look, like,
And so
yeah.
if you're telling them to be tougher, that don't make no sense to me.
Hey, nigga, be tough. How would you like when someone told you some shit like
Right.
that? That's what I'm saying.
Let me
man.
make fun of you. Let me
That's-
make fun of you.
That's what I'm saying.
You're just taking up the butt. That was a really bad joke. That was like not. It wasn't supposed to be a gay thing, but it was by accident.
I know it came out.
I was in the I was in the
Like-
character of a hatred-filled person, so it works
Yeah.
out.
Did not put a lot of effort
No,
into
but
that.
that wasn't me saying that. That was
got you.
a hatred person. Like, what, you got some up your butt? Be tougher.
Right.
You know, what are you, gay? What are you trans?
That's what that
And the
is.
trans, they don't mean they're gay, but that's the other part of it. Just because they're trans don't mean they're gay. But what are you, gay or something? Well, you can't take a joke,
Trans women are
taking everything
women.
up there.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
no,
blah.
be classified as
And they're
straight,
gonna.
bro.
Oh, whoops. That's
What the fuck is that?
That's gonna be that's what I was gonna play to get out of here, which is how you can make fun of trans comedians and make trans jokes, because this one here is Robin Tran, a transgender comedian. She's gaining prominence, and this is her doing a battle with a disabled dude. He has a cerebral palsy, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But they're just going back and forth dueling in a insult battle, and he's making trans jokes.
He's unemployed, so it's a good thing he doesn't have to buy tampons.
Okay,
There
it's
are a lot
simple.
of things Joe can't hold, like a microphone or his liquor or the arms of a woman who actually loves him.
Right.
My limbs are straighter than you'll ever be.
Yeah. So it's 2 minutes of
Mother
there.
wants to be an actress, but she doesn't even portray a convincing woman.
Right.
I am
Time out. Time out. I guess disabled. He's like, I'll just say whatever the fuck I want.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's how you make everyone's laughing. She's laughing. Yeah, I'm transgender, and I
But
still
see-
use my dick more than you do. Like that coming from a transgender comedian that loves the material, that is the material, that loves herself, that is working on it, the societal things of those things. Because I follow up with this comedian. It's a balancing act, because want to say she was not transgender when she started comedy, and then was like, oh, I'm
Transitioned
transgender,
while
and
she
so
was like, yeah, okay.
that switch happened publicly, and so finding that balance between the two, it's funnier when she's doing it. I mean, I'm gonna let it play, but go ahead to your point.
No, I just think that but the key quintessential difference is that, hey, look, there's trans person in the room. They obviously have
It's
to have
her show.
conversation
Yeah,
beforehand
yeah.
about how to tackle this, right?
Yeah.
I like there's
Oh,
just
we know it might have been the Simpsons situation where he passed
Yeah, like-
the script.
Right.
I
know.
really just don't get and here's my ultimate last point of I just don't get, with all that money, all that smart. He's way too talented and way too
To
smart.
me, it's his influence.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
like
Way too influential to be so
haphazard. Like,
Yeah.
I know that he's like. It just always feels like his other jokes usually get just one run through. Like,
Right.
because it's like,
Yeah,
yo,
that's
like,
the, he's never just
one run
been. He
through.
never just hammered home one fucking group like that.
No, it felt like, and that was, and so more so than the jokes for me, because I think the jokes were also rough.
Yeah.
It was the fact that I just was like, damn, Nick, like switch to a different group. Like, I'm right here. Like I said, throw a black joke, break this up, because it just felt heavy.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's where I was like,
Yes.
and that's, so on that notion, I was like, damn, dude, like, you can't be just isolated this group that already has so much oppression against it.
Yeah.
Right.
On that like that.
And,
Right.
and you,
We
but-
support trans communities around here.
That we
support
do.
the,
That we
support the
do.
goddamn trans community. Right? I don't want to so aggressive.
All the letters are important.
And I already did a shirt ad, so don't
Yeah,
worry about
we're
it.
good on the
But I want to just bring this up because it just brings. Oh no, not that. Brings us back to our point that we never got to make about Vicks Vapor Rub. There's the Mucinex guy. Just I had him there the whole time while we were talking, and I was like, man, this is a real serious conversation about transgender rights and comedy, and there's just the Mucinex guy.
You missed this moment.
Missed this moment.
Yeah.
And you know what he looks like? Looks like Rain Gatorade.
Oh God. He does actually.
That is the clear green, and then
That's what's in
Big
that bottle.
Ed. That's pretty unfortunate. But anyway, that's our thoughts.
I do hope that no matter what, like, you know, first of all, as we showed at the end, like for reals, I still am in the I will always be in the camp of no matter what type of comedian you are, throw it out there in terms of not throw out everything, but throw out what you want. Get it to pass through, but no, like, feel free to talk about black people if you're not black. Feel free to talk about, just gotta be funny. You gotta have some
get
sense.
it. Yeah, it's got to be a point to it.
You either got to be a no name where no one will care and you'll disappear, but if you've got the status or just the influence or like the impact, I love that, right? You really hit a point. Where it's like, if you got the impact of Dave Chappelle, you got to be very cognizant of how that can affect individuals. But I also, you know, and I think this kind of speaks to my other point too. It's like, I also don't want those, I want to empower those groups to, you know, remind themselves that he does not hold power over you. And your message is being heard, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's important, and understand that no matter what sort of reign, whether you're trans, if you feel like you were impacted by this show, we still support you. And there's a lot of people who do. And,
Absolutely.
And you're not alone. And I think that Tommy, you painted it in a great way. Yeah, like trans and minority struggles are actually very similar in some aspects, right? Actually, in a lot of aspects. Right?
A lot.
And
of
so,
aspects.
yeah, like, we get it, and we'll never fully understand, but
We got a pretty good goddamn idea.
But we got a pretty good goddamn idea,
and we need to start fucking remembering.
Yeah, and the
that shit.
conversation that's happening helps make sure it's solidified.
Right. So, yeah, tread lightly out there with your jokes, because most of the time they're just not that funny.
No, I just
No, I'm saying trans jokes,
it's
because
just
you got some. Chappelle got some in there. I will say there are some funny trans jokes. Where I laughed. I was like the days, right? How many
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
right? They're there. The gold is there, but you really got to know it, and you really got to love it.
you have to be like it's just.
You got to know it and love it.
Damn, it just goes back to why I'm so
goes
frustrated.
back.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
just
hard because look at-
it's out of him. It's just like he is the person who should be able to do it very fluidly
Yeah.
and eloquently.
Yes.
I blame
with some
Joe Rogan.
touches.
I blame Joe Rogan.
Oh my God.
We spent all that time with Joe Rogan.
Chilling with Elon.
Chilling with
Fuck
Elon. People realizing
Austin
that,
fucked him up.
I have no influence. I'm just a guy. I'll just put it here. Hi,
Fuck that
Active
shit.
Axer. I'm on the #1 Spotify podcast. Dude, you want to talk about your anti-vax things? I'm just dumb Joe Rogan. I make millions of dollars being dumb Joe Rogan, spouting anti-vax
I feel like
material.
you have a hate boner towards Joe
Fuck
Rogan.
Joe
He's
Rogan.
not a
He's a
fan.
fucking awful, stupid guy. He's exploitative at the very least. At the best, he's exploitative. At the worst, he's so blind and ignorant to what people actually need in their life. And
Whoa.
ultimately,
I don't listen to him, so I don't know.
right?
But look,
What?
can we go? like, goddamn. Joe Rogan's a whole nother subject. for
You're
another
here
day.
forever. You can never leave.
is hell.
Welcome to Kicking With The Compas. You want to talk about Chappelle?
Yeah, we're done. I gotta go to work.
Fuck work.
I also have a presentation.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We should have accounted for it with your math. Oh, I could be here. Show up on time, motherfuckers. Early, like JJ. He's got work tomorrow. He's not complaining.
You tricked me. I only showed up here early because you tricked me.
I said I knew it would go long.
3 hours.